Back after a year away is Joel Haro in the red gloves. Canada's Albara Atme stands across in the blue. This bantamweight bout is brought to you by Drip Swag. Create your own custom Spirit swag and see it come to life. Drip Swag, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Both fighters off of long layoffs.
It's body shot by Joel.
Near carbon copies of each other in terms of the style, as Atma able to land one in the exchange.
Very similar in styles. Nice head movement. Great defense by Joel so far.
Good uppercut. That was a good fake to the leg.
Eric, just to let him know that it's there, that he's willing to go there, could do a lot. Both moving exceedingly well in the first minute of round number one.
Nice body shot, and then over with the overhand right by Joel Haro.
Haro on the target, clips the chin.
Big right hand.
Lands another one in the phone booth, and now Haro getting a little bit of control time as well.
I've watched a couple of Atma's fights, and very well-rounded, great takedown defense, and strong. The kid's very strong.
Atma reverses.
In the fights I watched with Atma, he kicked a little bit more.
Yeah, he's got a nice
clip to the breadbasket and a combination to follow, and knee up the middle.
Joel Howard came to make a statement tonight.
Finds it on the chin again.
Those body shots are hurting Atma. You can see him. He winced a little bit.
Crisp combination landed over and over again for Haro, landing at will and accurately as well.
Joe just grazed him with that head kick, too.
I think Atma's having a hard time finding some rhythm.
And Joel's in rhythm right now.
First minute, it was a little bit more competitive. Right now, Haro slaps the leg kick and is in front. Both fighters just one step ahead of each other. The head movement, the defense is stellar on both sides. It's beautiful to watch, Eric.
Another big overhand by Joel and a huge body kick again.
Big right hand again.
Haro is pouring it on right now.
Another outside leg kick landed for Haro.
You know, as long as Atma isn't going to check him, you might as well hit him.
Atma's hurt right now. I think he's hurt.
Atma closes in on the body.
This is where we saw Joel have a little bit of trouble in his last fight against the Cage. Let's see how quickly he gets out of it.
Controlled for 57% of the last fight. 14 minutes to be more precise.
Gets his underhooks, good head position by Joel, and he reverses the position.
Nice spinning elbow by Haro.
That was a beautiful spinning elbow. The timing on that was nice.
Haro, so many tools in the toolkit. Atma landed there.
So in that first minute of this round, Atma looked like he was trying to establish taking the center of the cage, and now you're seeing it more move towards Joel.
Echoing leg kick.
I think
Joel
hurt
his
right hand. I think that kick hurt Joel's hand.
Definitely something is going on. Atma closes the distance. Haro trying to stay up. He's been working so much on that wrestling following his loss 364 days ago. Frame on the face and an elbow to follow by Haro, but Atma relentless in the pursuit of the takedown. He'll get it. Haro on the ground. Atma in a better position.
There's that power you were talking about, Jason.
Yep. He's strong. The kid's he's big for the weight class. Couple big elbows by Atma. Now Joel in a little bit of trouble.
We're seeing more kicks. There's got to be something going on with the right hand, Eric.
He's not shaking it. It's hard to say. His hands are tight. He looks good.
10 ticks to go. It's been a little back and forth. More offense from Haro, but Atma has had his moments.
Joel invested in the body this round. He's landed some big body shots. Great first round.
Another leg kick invested for Haro. Jason, like you said, the body and the lower body is where Haro has been throwing a lot.
He's throwing a couple nice teep kicks. Atma's got some swelling on that left eye.
Eric, Atma still looks very fresh, though, moving extremely well. A nice kick landed for the fighter out of DK United.
Yeah, he's moving well still, forward and backwards. He's definitely starting to find the rhythm for the kicks.
Nice combination by Joel.
Atma met Joel in on the convergence there.
Here, Atma's corner over there. They want him to bring Joel towards their side of the cage.
Beautiful head kick landed by Atma. Follows it up.
Atma a little more active this round.
High accuracy point on those last couple exchanges for Atma. Inside leg kick for Joel.
Nice big overhand by Joel. Atma landed as well. These two mirroring each other right now.
Exactly what was expected between these two. When watching the tape, it just seemed like I said earlier, a perfect pairing. And that's what we're getting so far, a technical matchup, no doubt about it, and a striking showcase from both. Beautiful entrance by Atma. Jumped into that one, Eric. It was quick.
Yeah, ducked right under, went right for the leg. Joel's right back up.
Eric, are you seeing? Answered my question. I was wondering if he was working more towards a takedown or just trying to control up against the cage, but clearly trying to get it to the canvas.
His coaches were calling for him to take the back.
Still a lot of time here.
2 of Atma's 3 professional fights have gone the full 15 minutes. Very much so primed and prepped for full time is the fighter out of Canada, Alberta. Joel trying to peel and separate, but Atma's offense has been much more efficient thus far in round number 2. Under 2 minutes to go in what has been a little bit of a changing of the guard in terms of who's in the lead, Eric.
Well, I think Joel won the first one. Atma's winning this one so far.
Yeah, I got to agree. Atma's pushing the pace a little more this round. Joel's landed some good combinations.
Cut under the right eye of Haro, as well as a little bit of bruising over the left eyebrow.
He just landed a big overhand again.
Head kick set up, but doesn't break the guard of Atma. Atma caught him, but Haro got one on the way out.
A good read from Atma. He's picked up on Joel dipping down. He's done that uppercut about 2 or 3 times in this fight so far, and Atma caught onto it on that one.
Another one for Atma.
Very competitive second round so far.
To the body, Haro goes. Atma wears it well. We're seeing some feints as well on the side of Atma, Eric.
Another big body kick by Joel.
Nice head movement by Haro as Atma tries to output a combination. Final 10 seconds of round number 2.
It's going to be a tough round to score.
Yeah.
Joel's had his moments. Atma's had his moments.
All right, we will go to a third and final round.
Good show of respect from both fighters. You know, if I'm Atma's corner, I may, every time he gets him up against a cage, I feel he has the strength advantage. Nice straight shot down the middle by Joe Haro.
Back to that fast twitch is Haro. He's reacting well once again.
Yeah, once he gets in a rhythm like this, it's hard to stop him. Atma's going to have to pressure him and land shots like he just did right there.
Real good 1-2.
Nice body kick again by Joel.
Trading back and forth they go. Haro attempts to sprawl but finds himself backed by the cage.
Good job of Haro defending that. I'd like to see him get his legs wider.
And he knows he can't stay in this position. You see him fighting to get out of this position.
We hear the grappling coaching of Pedro Sierra, a high-level grappling coach.
Now Joel took the back.
Here in Salt Lake City as they separate and head back to the center of the cage.
So far it's been a tale of if Atma's able to get him up against the cage, you can see that strength difference, but Joel in space. Nice leg kicks by Atma.
Atma's corner loves it as well, echoing through their approvals of those shot selections. Haro tries to converge, unable to do so successfully. Some more kicks by Atma. Beautiful head kick landed as well by Atma.
Joel caught it and returned.
Yeah.
Eye
poke there? I don't know what it was there. Something happened there. I missed it. Here, Atma's corner's calling for a body kick. Let's see if he's listening. Joel just a little, like a step ahead slightly on the striking. I mean, Atma's firing back and he's connecting, but it seems like he's at the end of his punches.
I think Joel's just a little bit busier here.
Yeah. And he's catching Atma with the harder shots where Atma's at the end. Joel's landing that left hand.
Nearing the halfway point of round number 3, Atma closes the distance again.
Yeah, I'd like to see Joel.
Atma's going to want to secure this takedown.
Some foot stomps thrown into the bag of tricks for Atma. Eric, how do those foot stomps feel?
You know, I've had them hit me and they hurt, and I've had them hit me and not bother me at all. Depends on if you're using your heel.
Where's the damaging place to aim if you are to do a foot stomp?
Right where he's hitting him, but it looks like he's hitting his instep on the top of Joel's.
It's been a mixture of everything. Offensive grappling from Atma, as well as spectacular striking between the two bantamweights. Just over 90 seconds remain. And if no winner is found, we will go to a judge's verdict.
Joel's needs to circle out of the cage now.
Right in his corner of Pedro Sierra and Bobby King is Joel Haro. Haro catches the kick, throws one down the pipe. Atma privy to that head kick by Haro. Both fighters in the midst of their combinations. Defensively sound in both parties.
Joel's moving, circling out well.
Another nice body kick that's been there all night.
We hear from the corner of Atma, 30 seconds of discipline. Time is ticking as the heavy spinning elbow.
He's got to pour it on here.
It's a big shots by Joel Hollow.
Finish this.
On the ropes is Atma.
At this point, he doesn't need to stop him. He just needs to keep hitting him.
Atma was hurt,
Very hurt.
but that might be the thing that separates it. It's a close fight.
Oh, the
but
big
now
shot
it's
by
Atma.
Atma. Oh, but Joel recovered very well. Good recovery by Joel. What a fight.
Back
wow.
and forth we went. One of the best fights you will ever see in Utah.
What?
And we are going to go to the judges' scorecards.
Fierce fans, after 3 incredible rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Joel Ho!
All right, well, we have got a big one on our hands. We are headed to the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah, the return to the fairgrounds of showdown fights from many years ago. Legal ruling alongside Zach Partridge for this fight week. And Zach, this one is just stacked top to bottom, and we're going to a historic place too.
Yeah, I mean, stacked top to bottom, but we're kicking off the card with, 7 debuters?
Yeah, 7 debuters.
What a cool stage for them to kick off their MMA careers where a lot of legends were born. I mean, really cool. It's where Mike Jones made his pro debut, right? And now he's main eventing it. There's a lot of cool storylines and a lot of really good, exciting fights on this card.
All right, well, let's kick into that. Dorian Ishmael facing off against Max Taylor. Max Taylor. This is the second card in a row where we're going to have brothers on the same card. This will be the third time in Fierce history that this is happening, but back-to-back here in this one.
Yeah, Max is one of my teammates at One Hit. He's coming along, and the opportunity came up for him to fight on the card with his brother. And Dorian Ishmael is a guy that follows MMA, watches MMA, trains a little bit of MMA, and wanted to experience a fight. They're both pretty green, and some of those fights can turn out to be some of the most exciting. So I think I think they'll kick off the night with a pretty exciting fight. I'd be very surprised if that one went to a decision.
Yeah, Dorian Ishmael, the first of 3 independents on the card. Another one, Cade Vermillion, who we actually kind of have a mutual connection with him, facing off against Ethan Fleming out of Tooele Martial Arts Academy. He'll be the first of 3 for that camp.
Yeah, Cade's been training, works for one of our sponsors, Glow Pop, and wanted to get on a card. And so what a good opportunity for him. And, Ethan Fleming, Tooele Martial Arts Academy is kind of getting active and going, and Ethan's part of that. And, like you said, we'll have 3 people on the card, and you're starting to see their name pop up more competing wise. Shout out to them. They did really good at Naga last weekend. And, it's good for Tooele. They've always had a really good team and a really strong camp. Their coach is Keith Asbury. I think he's a phenomenal coach. I've gone out there and trained with him before. I really like his stuff. I think it'll be a really fun, exciting fight.
All right, we'll move down 10 pounds to 135 pounds. Aiden Eglar facing off against Luis Falbel. Luis coming in from Gladiator Fight Academy. As for Aiden, he comes out of the most popular gym in the state of Utah, being Agema.
Well, and this is another one where I think it's really interesting. We have the interesting dynamic, just like we've had with a lot of the Jeremy Horn versus Excite MMA guys. Agema and Gladiator Fight Academy now has that common connection with Cole Schaefer, who's training in both rooms. So it's kind of interesting when we're starting to see this more with the cross training. Gladiator, they've had some really fun. Chris Falau came out of there last year. Cole Schaefer got a big win in October last year coming out of their gym. So I'm excited to see Luis. He's anxious to, he's like me. He's doing it for the older guys, man. He's 35, making his walk, and I'm excited to see him. I think it's great when you see these guys find MMA later in life and get in there. And then Aiden, I think Agima, like you said, they're the most active gym in the state. So
That's what I should have said. I apologize. I misspoke.
yeah, popular and like well known, I mean, they are, they've kind of established themselves as kind of the hub and if you will, almost like the pit elevated back was in the day, where they're, kind of open to everybody, creating a very cool culture there. And Aiden's a part of that.
All right, we will move over to our last debuter to walk. Every fighter we've talked about thus far is a debuter. The last one will be Julian Gomez, another fighter out of Tooele Martial Arts, facing off against Ben Evans, an independent out of Payson, Utah. We will have to see how he does. He fought on your card just a couple of months ago, getting back in there after that fight against Toa Meredith.
Man, he's just a guy that wants to fight, and he's kind of that guy that he kind of is bouncing around weight classes. He is an independent guy, but dude, me and you have had private conversations about Toa Meredith and how good we think he is, and Toa is good and he's very exciting. But man, Ben was exciting, and I think he started the fight with a flying knee, if I remember right. And like when you get a guy like that doesn't care and is just going to come in there and full send, don't blink, because anything can happen at any moment. But Julian Gomez, one thing you'll notice with all the Tooele mixed martial arts guys, they're all extremely tough. Like that's a culture they breed there. And so Ben's excitement mixed with Julian's and the whole Tooele fight camps, that grit, I think could make for a very exciting fight.
Julian Gomez with 5 years of wrestling under the belt. Okay, we will move over to the welterweight division. Dos San Leon facing off against Calvin Taylor, the older brother of Max Taylor, who we just talked about a few moments ago. Calvin Taylor, 2 knockdowns in 67 seconds in his debut just a few months ago, Zach.
This could be early fight of the night prediction, I think. Calvin's very exciting. I train very closely with Calvin at our gym. Like you said, he had a very impressive debut. Beat Spencer Hansen, who Spencer came out and showed, pretty good. Like that's a win that aged well for Calvin, for him to make this walk. He's extremely athletic and explosive. Dos San
Leon, as for now, my man Jackson Hubbs.
Boom. Don't trust Jackson. You never know. But the one thing that I'm really interested in, Dos San, his first fight that he lost was a really tough decision to Lane Dalton, who we know how tough Lane Dalton is because him and Tyler Call had a fantastic fight at our Challenger Series last September in Farmington. I watched that whole fight. Very impressive wrestling, tough grit. He's a tough guy. Calvin has a good wrestling background, good athlete. I think this could be a very, very exciting fight.
Lane Dalton already 3-1. Dos San Leon been facing really, really tough names at the kickstart of his career.
I think we'll see Lane Dalton in a fierce cage again very soon.
We would absolutely love it. All right, we will move over to Lars Wittenberger facing off against Nate Reinhardt. Lars Wittenberger, his 4th fight in 10 months. As for Nate, he's won his last 2 in a row and done so in dominant fashion.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect test for both of them. I believe they're both 2-1. Lars made his debut for us up in Idaho last June, and Nate's kind of, he just last fought in Idaho in January. So Nate's active. Lars has been active. And one thing, I think the winner of this fight will really kind of propel themselves into that top tier of bantamweights in the state, or be more recognized. I'm very high on Nate and where he can go in this sport. I think talent-wise, he probably already is one of the top tier bantamweights, but now he probably get recognized as such with a win over Lars. But we didn't know much about Lars last time. Turns out like he's pretty tough, well-rounded, comes from a good camp at Extreme Couture. I think that'll be a really good fight.
Clocked in about 3 years over at Extreme Couture is Lars Wittenberg. Excited for that one. All right, first of 4 title fights on the line. A Extreme Couture versus a GEMA Jiu-Jitsu and MMA matchup between Bane Varner and Giovanni Salazar. Zach, this one is going to be so much fun. Bane back after 11 months away. As for Giovanni Salazar, one of the highest touted prospects in the amateur divisions down in Vegas.
This is everything a title fight wants to be. I think Gio wants to go pro after this fight if it goes his way. He's about right there, like he's pretty dang good. Like I've kind of been watching Gio for a little bit. He was supposed to come up and fight on our Challenger Series last May in Orem, Utah. So now he's coming to make the walk at UVU in Orem, Utah. Pretty excited to see him. Bane, man, I think everybody wants to see Bane. The only thing I want to see more of Bane is him a little more active. So I'm just excited he's getting in there. But I'm really excited because I think 170 is the correct weight class for Bane. And I think he's gotten really serious about his diet and his nutrition. And, I think 170 suits him well. I think at that weight, he's going to be able to move a little bit better. He's kind of unassuming when you look at him. Like, I don't know if people realize how good he is when you just look at him, but man, obviously, as we saw with his knockout when he fought last for us, good knockout power. And I've heard people like Alden Ashcroft say Bane gives me some of my toughest rounds in the room, and Alden's a stud. So I'm very interested to see how this fight plays out and who initiates the grappling, who tries to keep it on the feet. I feel like a pretty good 50-50 fight for a title fight.
All right, we go from the welterweight division over to the bantamweight division, another amateur title on the line between Artis Lyles and Jackson Gray. We haven't seen Artis Lyles in a while, but since he's been away from the Fierce Cage, he has gone on a 4-fight win streak. As for Jackson Gray, obviously been dominant through these last couple of wins, getting his hand raised.
Jackson, let's see. Jackson getting a good win in September against a very tough Ben McNeil. And then taking on Kevin Guo. Kevin took that on a little bit shorter notice, if I recall that right. I believe. Jackson had to overcome a little adversity, got dropped in the first round of that fight, came back and was very, very impressive. I think Jackson's a stud, man. And you know what I really love? I love that he's defending his title. So we see so many amateurs win the belt and then instantly go pro. I really like that Jackson's not rushing that and at least getting one title defense in there. But I think skill wise, he's pretty dang close to there. And Artis knows where he stacks up. When you train at those big camps, those guys, you already know where you stack up with pros because they're trading next to him and some of the UFC caliber guys every day. And Artis has just gotten better and better and better. I've watched him since his very first amateur fight, and he's good everywhere. He's tough. He's fundamentally sound. I think I'm very interested to see how this fight plays out and see if Artis can execute some of that grappling that he likes to execute in this fight, or if Jackson can get him to engage in just a pure kickboxing match like Jackson really likes to do.
You're the new middleweight champ now. So where do you go here? When are you going to defend the title?
Get on your feet, put your hands together, and make some noise!
I think in April, I want to fight at the UVU April 20th.
Bantamweight champion, Jackson DeGray!
This guy's going to bring it tonight. He will be a handful.
On the button, it's Mike Jones getting it done!
Back in the most historic venue in the history of the state for the first time ever, Fierce Fighting Championship takes on the Showdown Fighting Grounds live from the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah. This is Fierce Fighting Championship 31, presented by Rush Hydro. Hello, everyone. Blake O'Rulian alongside my man Eric. I'm in Fierce FC Heavyweight, as well as always, my man Jason Laporte. Guys, we got a fantastic show ahead of us here tonight. Jason, I know you're looking forward to it.
This fight is a little nostalgic. This fight venue has so much history in it from back in the day. Some Utah fighters. I believe you've had Mike Jones fought here. I believe Jerome Hatch has fought here. So it's going to be a little nostalgic for some of these guys getting in the cage.
Eric, certainly historic, right?
Well, it was Mike Jones's debut.
It was
his
pro debut.
pro debut here. So you know, this David Castillo, there's been some killers in this venue and some great fights.
Well, we have so much to look forward to, and with that, for the first time here tonight, it looks like we are just about ready to kick it over to our man Jackson Hoops, who we will find in the cage.
Fierce fans, for those of you streaming this event live on the Fierce Fighting Championship YouTube channel, and for those of you in attendance here at UCCU Center at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, welcome to Fierce Fighting Championship. Tonight's event is sanctioned by the Pete Suazo Utah Athletic Commission with Executive Director Scott Bowler in attendance. Dr. Cabot Murdoch is also cage-side this evening, along with timekeeper Covey King. The judges for the evening are Stephen Farragher, Dan First, Dennis McMahon, and Richard Montanez. And the referees in charge when the fights begin will be Tyler Tomlinson and Dave Selyestead. Fierce fans, we are moments away from the first fight of the evening, but at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor our country with the singing of our national anthem. Please welcome the return of an extremely talented vocalist right here from Orem, Utah, Lonnie Hansen.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
One more time for Lonnie Hansen. All right, Fierce fans, we have now arrived at what you all came here to see. 30 mixed martial artists, 15 total fights, including 4 title fights for one Fierce Fighting Championship evening. So we need to let the fighters in the back know that you are here. Put your hands together and make some noise! Our first fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Pat's Media Productions. They provide a top-tier broadcast for whatever you are looking to showcase, especially an event such as this one. This crew who are behind these cameras and these monitors work tirelessly to put Fierce Fighting Championship into the living rooms of fierce fans everywhere and provide a platform for these fierce fighters to show the world what they can do. Pat's Media Productions, on behalf of fierce fans everywhere, we thank you. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome our first 2 fighters, Dorian Ishmael and Max Taylor, to the cage. Hang tight. Zach's giving me the 1 second. My bad. Keep bumping it there, DJ Dre.
All right, we got a couple of minutes, fellas, so let's go ahead and break down a little bit of this card. We were just talking about Mike Jones facing off against Trent Miller later on here tonight. You can head over to fiercefightingchampionship.com to purchase that pay-per-view. Jason, we're talking about Trent Miller, 100% finish rate. Mike Jones, 100% finish rate. Undefeated record on the line for Trent Miller, I apologize. And Mike Jones fresh off a faultless performance in August.
Yeah, Mike Jones looked phenomenal back in August. He's he's an experienced competitor. He's got a tough fight in Trent Miller. Trent Miller is tough. He's an up-and-coming fighter out of Vegas, and he brings it, man. He's tough as nails. This is going to be a great main event.
Eric, your thoughts on the main event?
I've spent some time with Mike on the mat. He looked great. I think he's definitely prepared, but like you said, this is going to be a test. Miller's a killer, you know.
Jason, in your opinion, do you think this is one of Mike Jones' toughest tests up to date? We see him at the top left corner.
Yeah, I really do, because he's taking a fight on a short notice fight. He's a guy he doesn't know anything about, and Trent Miller is no joke. He trains out of Extreme Couture out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Great fight.
Co-main event, also a title on the line, the professional light heavyweight title back up for grabs. Jerome Hatch facing opposite Hamza Salim. Jerome Hatch, he's been around for a long time, walk number 178 in totality for the esteemed veteran. Hamza Salim out of Portland, Oregon, 3-time Bellator vet, but also a 71% finish rate in terms of knockouts.
Yeah, another tough fight for Jerome Hatch. It just seems like he's in tough fight after tough fight. He comes out on top, wins some, lose some. He's back at it again tonight, defending his light heavyweight fight tonight.
Eric, I mean, we're talking about Jerome Hatch. He's coming into this one. This is his 6th straight title fight. I mean, he has been busy throughout the last couple of years.
Yeah, he never takes a lot of time off. He stays busy, keeps the ring rust off. Salem's coming off a loss. I think he's going to want to make sure he's got something to prove and put his best foot forward. I think this is a good fight back for Hatch and a good title defense for him.
All right, we move over to our prelim title fights live here on YouTube. Jason, the amateur bantamweight title up for grabs. Jackson DeGray facing off against Las Vegas's Artis Lyles. A couple of names we're familiar with.
Yeah, very familiar with both of these guys, and I got this highlighted as one of my fights of the night. I do have a few, but this one sticks out in the prelims right now. Jackson DeGray has been on a high. He's been just clicking on all cylinders. He's fighting a tough guy in Artis Lyles, who's improved drastically over his last few fights.
Eric, when we're talking about Jackson DeGray, 100% knockdown percentage, also a 100% finish rate for the fighter out of OREM, Utah.
You know, and over the last year, calling a few of DeGray's fights, I really think his stand-up is about as smooth and slick as anybody I've seen. And Lyle's tough, also a very effective striker, so that one will bring fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Artis Lyles. He was 1-2 when he was in Idaho last year. He hasn't lost since that date. It's been a 4-fight unbeaten streak for the Las Vegas fighter, Jason.
Yeah, he's been on a tear. He's been improving. His stand-up's been improving. His wrestling's been improving. He trains down there at Extreme Couture out of Las Vegas, so you know he's in a room full of killers down there.
All right, we got another Extreme Couture fighter who's going to be taken up for a belt later on here tonight. Giovanni Salazar facing off against Bane Varner. Certainly packs the prelims, Jason.
Yeah, I love this fight too. Bane Varner's always one to watch fight. He brings it. He's fun. He's animated. Another great fight.
Eric, Bane, after 11 months away following the devastating first-round knockout in OREM last year, that was one that really just skyrocketed into the top of the rankings.
Yeah, well, and sometimes that's all you need, right? You need that little push, get over the hill, and off you go. I also spent a little mat time with Bane. He looked really smooth. He was striking well up top while finishing good with kicks and good movement. So I think we're going to see an excellent fight here, very well prepared on both sides.
Jason, we talk about Giovanni Salazar on the other side of that one. A top 5 ranked talent in the West Coast, 2-1 in title fights already for the esteemed amateur veteran.
Yeah, Bane's going to have his hands full tonight trying to get this belt from Salazar.
Eric, this one for you. 7 of the first 8 fighters to walk tonight will be doing it for the very first time. Especially the nerves will run wild in a place like this, a big place to make your debut.
It is a big arena, a lot of fans. It's going to be loud. There are always nerves regardless, but when it's your first walk in a place like this, it's not like when I debuted, when I walked out in a bar and fought some guy in a cage. So this is definitely upscaled.
All right, guys, we're going to do a little bit of over and under talking about these prelims. Jason, I'll start with you. 5 takedowns in totality between Austin Strail and Mauro Gutierrez later tonight on pay-per-view.
That is 100% bet the farm. That is going over. That is going to be a scramble. do not blink in that fight. These guys are going to be all over the mat.
Eric, your thoughts on that matchup?
Both very, very high energy guys. We just saw Morrow fight not very long ago. Bell to bell, never stopped moving. The scrambles on the ground were phenomenal. I expect to see a lot of exciting grappling as well as some striking out of this.
All right, we're going to do a little fill in the blank. Jason, I'll kick it over to you. A win for Jackson DeGray does blank for his career.
I think next step is he's going pro after this fight. I think if he defends this title and looks good beating Artis Lyles tonight, he'll go pro.
I agree. I don't see a reason. I mean, by then he'll have cleared out the division. It's time for the next step, and I think he's definitely got the skill set coming off of a win if he comes here. So.
It'll be his third straight, and this is his first time out of state. He's 0-1 against out-of-state competition in the past, but he's a whole new different fighter now than I would say when he lost to Jared Melton a year and a half ago.
Yeah, he looked phenomenal. That was a flawless performance when he won that belt. Flawless performance by Jackson DeGray.
All right, here's another one. True or false, Mike Jones is the toughest test of Trent Miller's career. Eric, I'll start it off with you.
Absolutely. Jones has all the experience in the world. He's fought tough guys, and he's kind of fought all comers over his career. Very seasoned vet, and it's going to be we're talking about Miller and his undefeated career, but let's talk about Jones and his experience and what he brings to the table, because that's no joke.
17 fights versus 5 fights. It might be something to talk about, Jason.
Yeah, definitely the experience is going to go to Mike Jones. But like I said before, don't sleep on Trent Miller taking this fight. He's confident taking this fight on short notice.
Took it on 3 weeks' notice. Happy to have him atop the marquee. All right, guys, buy or sell. Nate Reinhardt with a win proves him and Jackson DeGray to be the 2 best amateur bantamweights in the state.
Very hard to argue against that, Blake.
Isn't that
right off the top of my head, that's going to be, you got 2 of the top strikers in the state out of 1 gym. That's impressive.
I mean, Eric, a win for both of them tonight means 6 straight wins for the pair over the past few months.
Yeah, it shows what your training partners mean and what it means to be in the room with top talent, and steel sharpens steel.
All right, guys, we will move over to a few more of these buy or sells, factor, fictions, over-unders. We'll kick things off with a buy or sell. Jason, I'll kick it over to you. Jerome Hatch needs a win tonight to get back on track and into his winning ways.
Yeah, I think he does. He's dropped a couple of his fights, even though they were in bare knuckle. He lost his heavyweight belt here. I think he does need this tonight to build that confidence back up and get him back on that winning track.
I completely agree. Watching the last bare knuckle fight, it did not go his way and it didn't look good for him. But you can't count Hatch out.
No,
he's got one hit or quit power, and I think if we see a very polished Hatch come in here, he'll definitely get it done.
And to add on that, he's back at home at 205, right? I mean, he was at 185 pounds when he had that uncharacteristic loss to Mike Jones.
Yeah, he's a 205 guy. He's a big guy. He's solid. He's got a lot of muscle, and he packs a huge punch.
And he made the comment on the last fight that the weight cut was murderous on him, and that's always a factor. Weight cuts can definitely change you the night of the fight.
All right, fellas, fact or fiction, if Kent Mafileo wins, we see him one more time before July. There's only one Fierce Fighting Championship event. If he were to fight on a Challenger Series, I just don't think that's where he necessarily is going to be placed. He'd be fighting next month at the Maverick Center.
I think if he makes quick work of Trujillo tonight and does it in impressive fashion, I think he's hungry to get back in the cage, and he'll want to jump back and get on that Maverick Center card.
I 100% agree. I think Kent is taking that loss very personal. I think he's going to come out and prove something. He's going to make sure it's a statement. He's not going to want to be in there a long time. Assuming he comes out unscathed, which, is definitely a possibility. You can never count the heavyweights out, though, right? It only takes one shot to have an awful night.
Yeah, and Trujillo's no joke. We saw him against Zach from Tooele, and he had Zach in some trouble in that fight when he fought him. He had him hurt.
Well, and heavyweight power is just a different thing. I can speak from experience. But I think Kent's going to want to prove something, and assuming he does come out of here unhurt, I guarantee he's going to want to fight again right away.
All right, we will stay with these heavyweights. Over or under 1.5 rounds between Daniel Trejo and Kent Mafileo later on tonight on pay-per-view.
I'm going to go with the under on that one. I think Kent's going to be looking for a finish. I think Trejo's he's going to think he's going to need to get a quick finish to get Kent out of there, because he doesn't want to be in there with a guy of Kent's size in those later rounds.
I agree with that too, especially with Kent's height. He's he's going to want to try to get Ken out within a round for sure. And again, like I said, I think that Kent's going to have something to prove. Kent's not going to want to go pass around either.
All right, with that, so much to look forward to on this absolutely stacked card. 15 bouts up for grabs, 30 fighters to make the walk. And later on tonight, if you want to, we will be having this pop up throughout the entirety of the evening. You can scan to access the Fierce FC digital program. It's on your screen right now to keep up to date on bout lineup, stats, and much, much more. Lots of work put into this, some statistics about fighters that are going to be coming in and making the walk for the very first time, as well as every other fighter to make the walk. It looks like we are just about ready to go. With that, we'll kick it back inside to Jackson Hooks.
Fierce fans, let's get this thing going. Let's try this one more time. We are ready to go. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the first two fighters, Dorian Ishmael and then Max Taylor, to the cage.
New challenge, looking for parallel results. Enter Dorian Ishmael. Eric, he's placed amongst the state's best in Ohio throughout the entirety of his high school wrestling career. New sport, but familiar stakes.
If you're ranked that high in Ohio State as a wrestler, you're a damn good wrestler, right? Because they do not play around with their wrestling skills in the Midwest, Nebraska, Ohio, in that area. Very storied wrestling career. He's going to be used to competing.
Yeah, I mean, Jason, we see on the subtitle, independent, but he's wrestled in high school. He's placed second 3 times. Taekwondo tournaments peppered in throughout as well. I think he's going to be ready.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any nerves with this guy. You wrestle in Ohio, like Eric just said. This guy's going to be ready. He's fought some tough guys before, wrestling, Taekwondo, things like that.
Talking to Dorian a little bit, he told me he's looking forward to mixing in his various fighting styles. Very curious to see what that style turns into, considering the wrestling plus the Taekwondo, Eric.
I'd be interested in seeing how he blends it. I mean, Taekwondo usually is not necessarily known for big power kicks, but a lot of really fast ones. That doesn't always match up well with a wrestling stance, but he's got a lot of experience in both. So,
Dorian Ishmael, 22 years of age, also had some boxing lessons in addition to his competitive career throughout high school as well. Excited to see how he fares here at the UCCU Center. First of 30, actually, to be making the walk. First of 15 on bouts tonight. Jason, I see the quick reaction from you. This is going to be a busy night.
It's a long night tonight. I've got my water here with me. I got a little bit of gum. We're ready.
First of a pair of brothers to compete here tonight. Enter Max Taylor. Jason, back-to-back shows in which we've seen bloodlines on the same card. His older brother Calvin set to fight in a little over an hour.
Yeah, this guy looks all business, man. He came walking out of that from behind that curtain, and he looks all business tonight.
Max Taylor told me seeing Ammon Garcia win a belt inspired him to take a fight for himself. His brother Calvin and more in his small circle are fighters within the state. Eric, I'm very curious. We see the lightweight champion right there in the corner of the screen.
He trains at a very well-known gym, One Hit. He's going to be prepared. You know, he's got a lot of experience with top-level guys in the gym, and that makes a lot of difference. He looks very focused.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and pull up that tail of the tape for the first time tonight. Dorian Ishmael, 2 years senior to Max Taylor, also 2 inches taller, will fly by way of Ishmael. Max Taylor weighing in at 169. Dorian Ishmael, borderline making it to lightweight. I mean, 161 pounds, just 5 pounds away from the lightweight limit. Got here to fight at 170 pounds, however. Both fighters making their debut. And with that, let's kick it over to Jackson Hooks.
Fierce fans, this first fight of the evening is sponsored by Pat's Media Productions. This fight is an amateur welterweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Dave Selyestad. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, making his amateur debut, he stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at 161 pounds. Fighting as an independent fighter, hailing from Washington, D.C., Fierce fans, make some noise for Dorian Ishmael! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, also making his amateur debut, he stands 6 feet tall and weighed in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of One Hit MMA, hailing from Farmington, Utah, Fierce fans, make some noise for Max Taylor.
First of 30 tonight is Max Taylor in the red gloves. Following suit is Dorian Ishmael in the blue. This amateur welterweight bout to kick off Fierce FC 31 is brought to you by Pat's Media, providing a top-tier broadcast for whatever you're looking to showcase. Pat's Media, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Couple of teeps to the body early by Ishmael. A rip to the rib cage as well. Taylor meets with a short punch.
A little bit off balance there.
Eric, he's swinging for the fences.
He is swinging hard, but he needs to get his feet under him a little bit, I think.
First fight jitters maybe for both guys. Ooh, nice body kick.
Taylor.
Looks like he got hit in the eye there. Ishmael might have squinting a little bit. See, this is, Ishmael needs to get a stance under him and just settle a little, I think. He's throwing kicks with power, though. These don't look like Taekwondo. Well, there's a Taekwondo.
All offense by both so far, Jason. As Taylor clips on the chin. Down is Ishmael! Max Taylor maximizes the debut in the UCCU Center.
And the crowd is on their feet already on the first fight of the night. Epic performance by Max Taylor.
That was a huge left hand, huge left hand. Taylor looked really good straight punching, while I thought Ishmael was really trying to wing him and he was throwing him from the ceiling down. Again, with Ishmael, I think there was some, as calm as he looked coming down, I think that was some jitters when he was in there, a little amped up.
What a way to capitalize. Max Taylor with the emphatic knockdown and finish. Let's go ahead and take that replay presented by Rush Hydro. Eric, break down the X's and O's just a little bit for us.
So right there, he hit him with that left, and then there's the one that finished it right on the button. Ishmael was throwing really wide, so his guard was open. Just straight punches will land every time.
There he is, Max Taylor in all the glory. First round finish. They're wrangled up together, and with a hot mic, here's Jackson Hooks.
Fierce fans, what a way to start off this evening. Referee Dave Selyestad has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute and 9 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout, Max Taylor.
All right, everybody, I'm here with your winner, Max Taylor. Max, impressive performance. That was a big left hand. How you feeling tonight, man?
I feel weird right now, honestly. I feel like I'm in a dream. I don't really know what to say.
It'll all set in here shortly.
I don't know.
Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight? Family, friends?
Just all my friends right here. Fucking love you guys and my family. Aldo right here, best coach on the planet. Wouldn't be here without him. Same with Ammon right here.
Everybody give it up for your winner, Mr. Max Taylor.
All right, welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 31. Max Taylor making the most in the first rep ever of his career, Jason.
That was very impressive, and I actually got a little word from Ammon Garcia in there, and he said, you think that was impressive? Wait till you see older brother here shortly.
We got a couple of stats for him. Really looking forward to it. Ethan Fleming facing off against Cade Vermillion up next. Another exciting one, Eric.
Yeah, it's, sometimes you never know what you're getting when it's a pro day or a debut of any kind, right? But Fierce does such a great job of matching these guys up and making sure that it's well placed for who's fighting who, and you always get a good fight out of them.
Jason, I feel like just the evolution of MMA over the last couple of years, it just seems like the debuters are getting better and better with every single show.
Yeah, and I was just having a conversation with somebody today, and they were telling me, gone are the days when you could just go out and fight somebody on the street. Everybody is training now. Everybody is doing some form of Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling. Everybody is getting in the gym and training.
Two fighters to make the walk, Cade Vermillion and Ethan Fleming waiting in the wings. With that, let's take it back over to Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Damage Plan Insurance. They are your one-stop shop offering the best coverage and price for your home, auto, and life insurance. Do something today that your future self will thank you for later, and don't settle for anything less than the best Damage Plan Insurance. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Cade Vermillion and then Ethan Fleming to the cage.
"19 years and a lifelong goal culminate into this very walk. Enter Cade Vermillion." Eric, an independent who spent the majority of his 23 years training alongside his father, Dustin. Certainly a special moment between the two.
Yeah, it's got to be very emotional. He looks really excited and happy, which is always kind of a good sign. Hopefully his nerves aren't running rampant for him on his debut. But I'm excited to see what this kid can do.
Yeah, Jason, his father, Dustin, a boxer for the better part of a decade back in his day. And I think of Ricky Mamone, who's trained with his dad his entire life and one of the most entertaining and new names in the entire state.
Yeah, if he's going to be anything like Ricky Mamone, watch out.
Cade Vermillion, a salesperson actually with Glow Pop, one of our long-standing sponsors, wanted to embrace this opportunity and do something that he has also wanted to do. And Eric, also a wrestler in high school back in Jordan.
Yeah, good base. You find these kids that have a strong wrestling background. It means they typically, if they did well, they have good work ethic and they're ready to go.
Big stage for a first walk. Here is Ethan Fleming. Jason, over the years, he has seen his counterparts compete out of Tooele Martial Arts Academy and felt the need to test himself.
Yeah, there's one thing I love about the Tooele Martial Arts guys. They're always ready. They're always prepared. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't give a huge shout out to Brandon back there in Tennessee. I know these guys is watching.
Eric, first of 3 for Tooele here tonight. Most of any local gym. Certainly one to look forward to.
Absolutely. The Tooele guys always come ready. They have a great group of coaches over there, so even on debuting fighter, he's gonna be able to come out and show some skill.
I was gonna say we got to give a shout out, happy birthday to his coach Keith Asbury. It's his birthday today.
3.5 years of jiu-jitsu and MMA for Ethan Fleming, making his debut. With that, let's pull up the particulars with our tale of the tape. Ethan Fleming facing off against Cade Vermillion in this amateur bantamweight bout. Vermillion, 1 year senior. Fleming will be the taller man by 2 inches. Fleming weighing in at 135.5 pounds. Vermillion weighing in at 131. Both fighters making their debuts. But Jason, that's a stark weight differential right there.
Yeah, that's a pretty big weight difference at that weight class. Vermillion may end up being a 125er. We're going to find out. This is what the debuts are for, and what the amateur ranks are for, is to find out where you fit. Where do I fit?
Eric, your thought on the weight differential?
Typically with that low of a weight at 131, usually it means he can make 25. Some of that might be the independent, though, and the debut. I don't know that I'd want a debut or fighter cutting a lot of weight.
Excited to see how it all renders. With that, let's kick it over to Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, our second fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Damage Plan Insurance. This fight is an amateur bantamweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter fighting out of the blue corner. Making his amateur debut, he stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 131 pounds. Fighting as an independent fighter hailing from Sandy, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Cade Vermillion! And introducing his opponent fighting out of the red corner, also making his amateur debut, he stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 135 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Tooele Martial Arts Academy, hailing from Prescott, Arizona. Fierce fans, make some noise for Ethan Fleming!
First rep for Ethan Fleming in the red gloves. On the other side is Cade Vermillion, who will swing with blue. This amateur bantamweight bout is brought to you by Damage Plan Insurance, your one-stop shop for a plan to fit your needs. Damage Plan Insurance, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Tyler Tomlinson, the third man in the cage here tonight. One of 7 duties for him on this longer card than normal. Vermillion opens up with a couple of kicks as Fleming will converge and find himself on top.
Definitely see that size difference. He picked him up and just put him right on his back.
He kind of gently set him down.
Yeah.
There was a big slam there. It's like, I'm just going to set you down gently.
Fleming, a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, also mentioned that he's won some grappling tournaments. Couldn't find any record of him online, but he finds himself on top here in a dominant position. Vermillion trying to put something together, but Fleming staying resilient on top.
I'd like to see Vermillion turn towards the cage and maybe use that to push off, especially where it looks like Fleming's considerably bigger.
See Fleming wrapping up over the top, getting a little bit more of a prime position.
It was really nice of Fleming to bring him right over to the cage so we can see exactly what's going on. Vermillion needs to create space here. Maybe get his foot. See, he's trying to work that foot in onto the hip and try to push off.
It seems like he's got a little bit of training. He's doing a good job.
No, he's absolutely.
Fleming
there he goes.
Targets the back. About halfway there, still on the side as Vermillion finds himself on top. Back and forth they go.
And there's a little bit of that inexperience. He didn't base before he tried to turn, and then got reversed after he worked really hard for his own reversal.
See Fleming looking to break the grip as well on our screen.
I like to hear his coach telling him to breathe, especially for newer guys. You tend to forget. As odd as it sounds, you'll hold your breath.
And Ethan's doing a good job of just making Cade work from the bottom, cooking him, as Pedro would say.
Slowly but surely taking away the round. 45 ticks to go in this first round in what has been Fleming in the majority of the control time.
I think we're definitely seeing that 4 pounds difference, because that 4 pounds difference after they're hydrated is easily 12 or 14.
Very easily. Yeah, Cade's working from the bottom. He's just a step behind at the moment in that strength.
Fleming will finish on the back of Vermillion.
Oh, he tapped there right at the end there. His hand looked like he was tapping.
If he didn't, it looked like he was gonna.
It was right at the buzzer too, but it looked like he was tapping.
We're over in the corner of Cade Vermillion. Eric, if you're in that corner for the independent fighter, what are you saying to him through 3 minutes?
Well, it's tough, right? Because we saw Fleming put the game plan on him. It looked like that's what he planned on doing. Vermillion's really struggling. Like I said, I mean, I know I've said it a bunch, but the size difference is tough. I think that you're telling him stay on your feet a little bit more, try to mix it up. He's also the little bit shorter fighter, so you got to be a little bit careful because you're in the pocket, right? But if he gets on the inside and can stay on his feet, he could get some offense generated.
He was also taken down in the opening moments. He hasn't really had his opportunity to showcase what he can do and what his game plan is, Jason.
Yeah, he was on top for a half a second there and then got reversed, and the rest of the round was controlled by Fleming. We'll see if he can repeat that in this second round.
Fleming out of Tooele Martial Arts Academy. First of 3 on the card, the most out of any local gym representing any given gym here tonight. Vermillion, a couple of lunges as he'll spin. But on top is Fleming off of the slip of Vermillion.
And he didn't want that.
Yeah, this is where he didn't want to end up again.
It looks like he's had a little bit of training. He's doing some of the right things. He's framing, he's trying to get his knees in. I think he's getting a little tired now, and he might be gassing a little bit.
Thudding shots from the top in favor of Fleming.
And Fleming didn't look like he was breathing hard at all in between rounds. He looked really fresh.
What do you think the energy expenditure was through the first 3 minutes versus right now, Eric?
Well, definitely Vermillion.
The tap is there. Ethan Fleming, mission accomplished in the debut.
Well, and so Vermillion had to put most of the output trying to escape, especially when we saw that scramble and got him reversed. Fleming kind of just put the game plan on him, was really smart in using his weight to hold him down and wear Vermillion down a little bit.
See a little bit of shadow boxing. Didn't really get to showcase that a whole lot, more so the grappling in this one.
He didn't need to, and took no damage, and that's a great way to start your MMA career.
Not a scratch on him. Ethan Fleming is going to move to 1-0. With that, we've got our Rush Hydro replay that we'll go ahead and queue up for you. Eric, if you could just break down the rear naked choke. It's the same exact position he was at the end of round 1. He just got it a little bit more expeditiously.
He definitely was able to capitalize right away, and he had a little more time. That's all he needed.
All right, with that, we will kick it over to Jackson Hoops.
Fierce Hands referee Tyler Tomlinson has called a stop to this contest at 55 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by submission due to rear naked choke, Ethan Fleming.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here with your winner, Ethan Fleming. Ethan, how's it feel to get that first big victory under your belt?
Man, it's out of this world. It's like cocaine.
Was there anything that surprised you from him in that first round? It looked like he was scrappy, but you were in a pretty dominant position for most of the round. Did you think you had it in the bag after that first round?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's just all adrenaline, and your training kicks in, takes over.
Well, we can't wait to see you back in the cage. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? I hear it's your coach's birthday today.
Man, yeah. I mean, these guys, my whole team, friends, family. I mean, I can't describe it, man. I just love them all. So, couldn't do it without them.
Awesome performance once again. Congratulations, Ethan Fleming. Give it up for Ethan Fleming, everyone.
Oh, man. Don't worry. I can take real good care of you. See? All taken care of. Works perfectly for you, right?
It's important that you are taken care of properly. At Craig Swap & Associates, we don't get paid until you win.
One call, that's all. 801-444-4444.
Scan Fierce Fighting Championship's new digital program on your screen right now to keep up to date on bout lineups, stats, and more. Welcome back in, everybody. Ethan Fleming getting the job done. Jason, your thoughts on the Tooele Mixed Martial Artists?
Can I just say how awesome this FFC digital programming thing, that is an awesome addition to this program. But yeah, Ethan Fleming looked phenomenal. He controlled the fight. He was calm, cool, and collected. A great performance from Ethan Fleming.
Cade Vermillion really showed some stride as well.
He really did. I'm not trying to knock him of what he just needs a little more experience, probably needs to get into a gym, but he did do a lot of the right things in there, just maybe a little undersized.
Another pair of debuters to make the walk, Louis Falbell opposite Aiden Egler. Looks like we are just about ready to bring them out. With that, Mike's side, it's Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by FST Filtration. They provide the best manufactured HVAC products for your home and business. Go to fstfiltration.com, take the 2-minute air filter quiz, place your order, and get fresh air filters delivered to you whenever you need them from FST Filtration. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Louis Falbell and then Aiden Egler to the cage.
12 months clocked in, and now a shot to showcase. Enter Louis Falbell. Jason, a newer name when we talk about Gladiator Fight Academy, but headed by credentialed names and proven fighters.
Yeah, he's trains under Cole Schaefer, who we'll see later tonight on the main card. He's gotten a nod in his corner. He's training with a bunch of killers over there.
Eric, your thoughts on Louis Falbell, an amateur boxer in high school, has been training for about a year, 35 years of age at present. We'll have to see how it transfers after all those years.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that transfers as well as whatever takedown defense or ground game he may have. Boxing's a good background, but you do have to make sure you're balancing it here.
Louis Falbell will be the oldest age discrepancy on this card, 35 years of age versus Aiden Egler's 21. There's going to be some positives and negatives to that, I would say, Jason.
Yeah, there could be some positives. Maybe you see Edgar maybe fading a little bit if the fight goes. You may see a little bit of the old man strength from Edgar. Yeah, there could be some stark differences. We're going to find out here in a minute.
A long-awaited opportunity for Aiden Egler. Eric, 21 years of age with years of various martial arts in the background, also coming from one of the most active camps in the entire state.
Yeah, Gima's a great gym, great coaches, a lot of experience. You see Court McGee there in his corner. That's if you want somebody in your corner for a debuter, you couldn't ask for anybody better. I really like the Apollo Creed shorts. I just want to mention that.
Jason, he was invited to go watch UFC 278 in Salt Lake City, and seeing the pop from the crowd live made him want to be a part of the action. 2 years later, he's here to make his debut.
Yeah, I love it. This is what I love about the debuters. Putting it all on the line against family and friends in a huge car, in front of a huge crowd. Hometown, you know, Agima, right city next to us down in Provo. This is great for these debuters.
All right, before this bout beckons, let's go ahead and pull up that tale of the tape presented by Rush Hydro for this amateur featherweight bout. Louis Falbell, 14-year senior, as we mentioned, the largest age discrepancy on this card. Also an inch taller will fly by way of Falbell. Both fighters weighing in at 144 pounds, and also identical records making their debuts right now as Aiden Egler enters the cage. The red, white, and blue shorts. I like him as well, Eric.
I'm Apollo Creed all the way.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by FST Filtration. This fight is an amateur featherweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Dave Selyusted. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner. Making his amateur debut, he stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 144 pounds. Fighting out of Gladiator Fight Academy, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Louis Falbell. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, also making his amateur debut. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 144 pounds. Fighting out of Agima Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, hailing from Saratoga Springs, Utah, by way of Sycamore, Illinois. Fierce fans, make some noise for Aiden Egler.
Debuting Aiden Egler sports the red gloves. Salt Lake City's Louis Falbell answers in the blue. This amateur featherweight bout is brought to you by FST Filtration, fresh air filters delivered for when you need them most. FST Filtration, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Dave Selyusted back in action. Second bout of 8 for him. Bout number 3 underway. Falbell attacks upstairs early. Big swing and a miss as Egler looks for the takedown, finds himself in side control. Jason, it looked like Falbell wanted to wrap up the guillotine. Now he's looking to do so.
Yeah, he looks like can't tell where he's at on there.
Eric, it looks like a pretty good position.
He does it there. His head just popped out. He's in a not good position now.
Falbo looks a little more in control at the moment right now. Good back take. Looking to sink his hooks in here.
Aiden Egler, 2 years of jiu-jitsu, a year of kickboxing, and 6 months with the Agima fight team as he finds himself draped over the back.
He needs to be careful. He's really high here.
Egler now looking for that rear naked choke.
That one's under the chin. That's going to be tight.
The local crowd loves it.
Fable was doing a good job fighting the hands there, but it's pretty deep.
There it is.
There it is. Aiden Egler takes care of business in the debut. He's going to move to 1-0.
Great performance. He stayed calm. He's cool, collected.
Yeah, I thought with the way Falbell was swinging a little bit, I think there was some nerves there, some excitement. He got a little over anxious, and you just saw the cooler, calmer heads prevail.
We see the embrace between the Agima coaches. Aiden Egler pretty much batted 1,000 in that one, Eric.
Yeah, very smooth. You know, when Falbell was swinging at him really hard, he stayed calm and was able to get the position he needed.
All right, let's go ahead and take that replay presented by Rush Hydro. Eric, it's all yours.
I actually am surprised it took as long as it did Falbell to tap because it looked really tight almost right from the get-go. Falbell tried to keep fighting it, but, you know, once that arm was under, it was locked in.
Aiden Egler, certainly a new name to look out for. Looks like we are just about ready to bring them in as we will move back in with our man Hoops.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Celia said has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute and 23 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to rear naked choke, Aiden
Aiden, first of all, I just want to give you a shout out for the Apollo Creed shorts there. Great job tonight, impressive performance. How you feeling tonight?
Awesome, man. That doesn't even feel real, honestly, but I'm feeling really good. That was kind of the plan, just survive for a second and then see what I could do from there.
Yeah, dominant performance. Are we going to see you back in the cage again?
Absolutely.
I love it. Anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Definitely my coaches, Court and Dane, everybody that I trained with back at Agima, and my family, and like a million other people that came out to see me. And that's about it.
Everybody give it up for your winner, Aiden Egler.
All right, welcome back into Fierce FC 31 presented by Rush Hydro. Jason, we're 3 fights in, but we're barely a round of actual fight time into tonight.
Yeah, it's been nonstop action. I love it. We're cruising right through there. We got some good finishes so far. I can't wait to see what the rest of the night brings.
Eric, a couple of slick submissions.
Yeah, especially from some younger guys, being able to lock it in and make good use of cage time.
All right, with that, Julian Gomez and Ben Evans to make the walk next. One last debuter to see here tonight. With that, let's kick it over to Hoops.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Detail Sharks, and with over 10 years of experience, they have polished the Thunderbirds, cleaned the roller coasters at Lagoon, ceramic-coated supercars, but more importantly, they've mastered the art of shampooing and detailing your vehicles. For all of your mobile detailing needs, trust Detail Sharks. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Ben Evans and then Julian Gomez to the cage.
I don't ever expect it. I gave mine up for Blake.
All right, accepting all willing challengers, back is Ben Evans. Eric, a distinct ability to take damage and keep moving forward, but also feels like in this second walk he has identified his deficiencies.
Well, being tough is definitely an advantage. It's not always the best way to fight, though, but everybody likes a gritty fighter, and a guy that can bite down on his mouthpiece and see some damage through can go a long way.
Yeah, Jason, talking to him, he felt he did a good job staying calm amidst an abundance of offense from Toa Meredith down in St. George. We'll see if he can build on that in this sophomore slate.
Yeah, we'll see if he'll be able to correct some of the flaws. You don't usually see too many people independent after the first or second fight. Usually you see him getting into a gym. Maybe we'll see that tonight. If he gets a win or lose, maybe we'll see him get into a gym and get some quality training in.
Ben Evans gets work in Payson, Utah as an independent fighter. We will have to see how things fare for him in this one.
And I didn't mean he wasn't getting in work in, by the way.
First time in the driver's seat with excitement in the air, enter Julian Gomez. Jason, 5 years of Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling in the tool belt for this one. A stylistic stalemate between him and Ben Evans.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely a stylistic stalemate. Julian Gomez having that type of background, training out of Twilla Martial Arts Academy. This kid looks ready to fight tonight.
Yeah, Eric, final debuter to walk tonight. They've certainly brought it. He's number 7 of them.
Yeah, great night of fights. I'm interested in seeing how his Greco-Roman, how he uses that in the tie-up and the takedown. You don't see a lot of guys that train Greco specifically, so I'm excited to see this.
Julian Gomez always wanted the opportunity to have a fight, and with that, let's go ahead and see what flies off the film with this tale of the tape. Julian Gomez facing off against Ben Evans for this amateur featherweight bout. Evans, 8 years the older man. Julian Gomez will be taller in there by 3 inches. Gomez weighing in at 144.5 pounds. Evans weighing in at 144 flat. Gomez to make his debut. Ben Evans with a little bit more tread on the tires, not a whole lot, with a record of 0-1. Back inside with Julian Gomez, 21 years of age versus 29. I mean, that's not the biggest age differential, but there is a little bit there, Jason.
Yeah, you got a little bit of an age difference, and then you have Evans that's had the experience of already stepping inside the cage. You know, will that affect Gomez? Will he have a little bit of nerves? We're going to find out.
Julian Gomez, another name out of Twilla Martial Arts. We already saw Ethan Fleming get the win. We will see if they can follow that trend.
Yeah, Fleming looked impressive. We'll see if Gomez can follow that.
You guys keep talking about age difference. It makes me feel old.
The second oldest fighter in Fierce FC history. Is that right? All right, with that, let's take it back over to our man, Jackson Hoops, to get us primed for this featherweight bout.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Detail Sharks, and this fight is an amateur featherweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 5 inches tall and weighing in at 144 pounds. Fighting out as an independent fighter, hailing from Payson, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Ben Evans. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 144 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Tooele Martial Arts Academy, hailing from Tooele, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Julian Gomez.
Final amateur debut tonight will be Julian Gomez in the red glove. Sophomore slate for Ben Evans proceeds in the blue. This amateur featherweight bout is brought to you by Detail Sharks. Leave your vehicle looking and feeling like it just rolled off the lot. Detail Sharks, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Gomez immediately took the center of the cage. Now Evans inside.
There's the shot.
Gomez, a fast twitch, finds himself on top, inside control. Vibrates the seats as well, guys.
Yeah, it was a little harder slam than we saw in the last fight. Evans going to want to let go of that neck there. He's just going to tire himself out. I don't think he has much.
There's nothing there, especially in the position he's in. He'd have to pull guard and try to get that, but he is working his way back up.
Evans.
And now it could be really deep.
Yeah, this is a completely different position, but he abandoned the legs.
Separated are the two fighters. Back to the center they go. Lots of grappling through the first 4 fights, guys.
Really impressive with how calm Gomez is in there for making his debut.
Evans keeps kind of faking these kicks. He really should just throw them. He's second guessing himself a little bit. He's going to need to commit to something.
Ben Evans, the third and final independent fighter here tonight on this card.
Gomez looks like he's setting up a takedown there.
Knee up the middle, finds Evans on his back. Gomez back up top.
Yeah, Gomez just bullied him over when Evans threw the knee. He was a little bit off balance.
Back to the feet is Gomez. He'll throw a shot from up top as Ben Evans defends from his back.
You're going to see Tyler. Yep. Tyler was going to stand him up anyway.
Yeah, you could hear Keith in the corner. Gomez's cornerman telling him to stand up.
Back to the standing exchanges. Evans trying to get a jab utilized. Unable to do so. We see another tie-up. Gomez with 2 underhooks right up against the broadcast booth.
Evans is not in a good position here. He needs to try to swim for an underhook, try to create some distance. Here, all Gomez really needs to do is suck his hips in. He can take him back down.
Already found themselves to the mat twice through 2.5 minutes.
Sorry, he is working that underhook on that right side.
Evans trying to utilize some knees, just hasn't been able to land them yet, Jason. 10 ticks to go, round 1.
No, he hasn't. Gomez doing a great job of controlling this fight so far, not really rushing anything, being super patient.
His body posture isn't correct to land those knees. He keeps throwing them when he's off balance backwards because Evans is pushing him forwards, right?
Julian Gomez taking care of business through 3 minutes. This is our first round break throughout the entire night so far, guys.
This has been a long fight.
Yeah, it feels like it's been going forever. We did see a second round in 2 fights ago. 2 fights ago.
Oh, yeah.
We did. I apologize. That's on me.
Maybe should have been done in the first fight. A little controversy with a slight tap there at the end of the round.
It was real close. The hand was coming up either way.
It was coming up. Yeah.
Julian Gomez really controlling the pace through 3 minutes. Jason, your thoughts?
Yeah, really impressed with Julian Gomez. I like the patience that he's shown. I think we'll see a little more aggression here in this second round.
Gomez is just bullying him, doing pretty much whatever he wants to him. Maybe we'll see we'll see Evans settle down a little bit, and just he really just needs to get his feet underneath him so he can create some offense.
Top of round 2 of a possible 3. Evans still targeting the lower legs, but Julian lands up top, pushes Evans back with the shot.
This is what I thought. You'd see him be a little more aggressive after controlling that first round. He's teeing off right now.
Gomez, foot on the pedal. Evans unable to be floored that time. Gomez punches out and they separate.
Evans is getting a little bit lost in this offense.
You hear the corner of Gomez saying that he's hurt and he needs to go right now. Jason, your thoughts on that advice?
Yeah, I think it's great advice. I think he is a little bit hurt. You can see him catching his breath in there. He's a little winded. There's always that one punch.
Gomez finds himself back on top in the corner of his own.
Evans is going to have a really hard time getting out from under Gomez here. I think this is where Gomez has a real opportunity to finish this if he really rains down on him.
Yeah, Evans is pretty tired.
He looks hurt still.
Gomez motioning to bring him back to the standing exchanges. Tyler Tomlinson follows the request. Evans, hands down, a little bit less defense, but he'll pop one as he looks to close the distance. Julian Gomez, big swing, didn't land as crisply as he would have liked.
Oh, an immediate reverse.
Evans nearly found himself on top, but the roll through by Gomez finds him back in a familiar position. Now a couple of ground and pound shots in favor of Gomez. Continue to widen the gap in favor of the Tooele fighter.
You can hear the corner of Gomez. They want him to finish this fight.
Gomez just needs to straighten those punches out a little bit more, and he'd probably have it. My feeling is Evans does not want to be in there anymore. Good knee to finish the round.
Through 6 minutes, it has been all Julian Gomez. We go over to the corner of Ben Evans. Jason, your thoughts? I mean, Eric's saying he doesn't think he necessarily wants to be in there anymore. Your thoughts on what you're seeing in the body language?
Yeah, the body language, he looks like a defeated fighter right now. I obviously don't know what's going through his head, but definitely body language. I would agree with Eric. He looks like he doesn't want to be in there.
His body language is showing what his brain is telling him.
And I'm sure the kid's not going to quit. He's a tough kid. We've seen him before. He's a tough kid. He's going to stay in there until either Julian finishes him or he catches Julian.
You know, we talked about that grit and being able to walk through some fire. This is where you know whether you've got it or not, whether you can bear down and keep moving.
Took a little bit more damage in this round as well, Jason.
Yeah, I felt like Gomez was putting the pressure on early on, and then it just got back to the same pace that we were going in, a little more control from Gomez. We'll see if he tries to get the finish in the third round.
Third and final round to decide it between these two.
Gomez looks like he's breathing a little bit hard, not necessarily like I think it's extravagant, but I think Gomez knows it's the third round too. Good knee. Finally landed a good one.
Ben Evans, never been to a third round. His debut was a TKO loss in the second round. Never faced minutes 6 through 9, as Gomez still seems to have his wits about him.
Yeah, Gomez seems like he's a little gun shy, like he wants to throw the punch, but he just can't quite let it go, and then he does.
You hear Gomez's corner telling him to straighten those punches out. Just good advice.
Another looping one as Gomez finds his way down the middle. Evans back on his back.
I think if he wanted, he could probably jump right into side control here and may be able to finish the fight.
Just heard from Tyler Tomlinson. Unsure if it picked up in the mic, but Tyler Tomlinson saying to Ben Evans, hey, you kicked him in the groin twice. We play on here about halfway through the third and final round.
A good experience for Gomez to get almost 3 rounds in so far against a tough kid that won't go away.
Evans wobbles.
Yeah, despite his body language, he's not quitting.
Evans nearly leaned back to his back, but found the cage instead as Gomez now attacks the body.
It's a strange position.
Gomez now looking to break through the guard.
And now Evans with the big shot. This
Came
is that
around
grit.
with the right hook.
Yes, this is that grit, Eric. This is the grit we talked about.
Evans returns one, wobbles Gomez. Now we go back to the center of the cage. 45 seconds to go, but things just got a whole lot more interesting.
Evans is looking really defiant, too. He looks like he's still wanting to be in the fight.
This could be a reason you may have not seen Gomez. Maybe he felt a little something. Maybe he felt Evans had the power early on, and maybe that was why he was a little gun shy earlier in the fight.
30 seconds left to decide this. You've got to think Evans has got to throw everything but the kitchen sink in order to get his hand raised here, Jason.
Yeah, he's going to need a Max Holloway moment here if he's going to win this fight.
It looked like we just about had it, Eric, a few seconds ago.
Yeah, that right hook landed clean and caught Evans off balance and put him against the cage, but caught Gomez, but Evans doesn't have the energy to finish it, I don't think.
All right, that will do it. Third and final round concludes, and with that, we will tally the scorecards. Jason, before you take off, maybe a third round to Ben Evans, but for the majority of it, it seemed to be Julian Gomez.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to see a 30-27. I mean, you could. He did wobble him there. Judges do like damage. You may give Evans a round, but I think a pretty dominant performance from Gomez.
I agree. I can't see Evans up on the scorecard by any means, but a good fight though, exciting, especially at the end. Third round, came back, landed a shot, showed his toughness.
All love between the two fighters. 9 minutes of action. A lot of respect for a guy after that, Eric, I'd assume.
Yeah, absolutely. You get a little bit of brotherhood when you're in there afterwards, win, lose, or draw.
First fight to go to a decision, Julian Gomez in wonder of if he did enough. It looks as so that he has. Still waiting on the official scorecards. Tyler Tomlinson awaiting in the center of the cage. One of the esteemed refs here in the state of Utah. Tyler Tomlinson to congregate them, and with that, still waiting on Jackson Hoops. We see him now, scorecards in hand. With that, we'll take it over to him.
Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision out of the red corner, Julian Gomez.
Julian Gomez, impressive performance tonight, dominant performance tonight. How you feeling getting your first win?
Honestly, tired. Way too tired, but I feel so good. Feels great.
You looked really calm in there tonight. Were you nervous at any point? Did anything throw you off?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Is there anybody you want to give thanks to tonight?
Honestly, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Jesus Christ. First thing, foremost. Second, my coach right here. Wish him a happy birthday. It's his birthday today. Much love to my coach and Boomer. Love them guys. Especially Austin Strell, that's about to fight tonight. And Derek, man. Derek, you a tough guy. Thanks for helping me out and beating the shit out of me. And then I want to give thanks to my family and friends for coming to support tonight. It's been great.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Mr. Julian Gomez.
the UFC, but if not, you know, we'll be right back here defending this thing.
Big shots by Joe Harrow. Finish this. One of the best fights you will ever see in Utah. Crispus can be. It's Chris Ventura getting it done in the debut.
Everybody brought it tonight.
That'll do it. Eric Iman with the highlight finish.
He's on a mission tonight.
Is the undisputed king of the lightweights.
We were on the edge of our seats for every fight.
Twist your bang, let's go. Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. It looks like you're fighting for a title, Eric Iman. How you feeling, man?
I feel like it's my time. I always wanted to win the belt. I couldn't be more honored than to fight for the Fierce Heavyweight title. You know, this is my home, and I love it here, and I love you guys, and I'm a promotion guy, and I want to bring that belt back to Utah.
You guys are going to have me on pins and needles all night. I got you in the co-main event, and I got Joe Harrow in the main event. I'm going to be on edge.
It's going to be an exciting night. Don't blink, because as we all know, I'm a hard puncher.
All right, back on track in here. Julian Gomez gets his hand raised, and now we move in to another part of these prelims. No debuters left. Calvin Taylor facing off against Do Som Leon. Looks like they are just about ready to go. With that, we'll kick it over to the man inside the cage, Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by Rush Hydro. As fellow high-performance athletes, they intimately understand the demands your body faces during intense workouts. At Rush Hydro, they bottle the essence of resilience and determination. Feel the exhilaration of optimal electrolyte balance and unmatched bioavailability, tailored for champions who refuse to settle for anything less. Elevate your performance with elite hydration. Revitalize, rebound, and recharge with Rush Hydro. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Do Som Leon and then Calvin Taylor to the cage.
All right, a prompt turnaround in his second walk to the cage. Enter Do Som Leon. Eric, win a full 9 minutes with the now 3-1 Lane Dalton. Now puts his skills to the test with an unbeaten fighter in Calvin Taylor.
Yeah, so a fighter usually has to get better in between fights, not during getting ready for fights. So we'll see what he's been able to improve on and polish and where he goes. I really liked his raccoon hat.
Jason's second walk in 2 months for Do Som Leon. He faced Lane Dalton in the first fight. He's now a 3-1 amateur in Idaho. Could be fighting for a belt here for Fierce very soon.
Yeah, he's making his debut. He didn't fight somebody that was a slouch. He came away in the losing in on it, but you know he's going to have another tough test tonight against Calvin Taylor, even though he's a debuter.
Do Som Leon tipping the scales last night at 171 pounds. He was at 180 last time around. He's down 9 pounds for this one, Eric.
Well, that's a complete weight class change, so maybe this is where he should be, though.
We'll have to see how things fare in the second fight of Do Som Leon's career. With that, Calvin Taylor waiting in the wings. A dominant debut and now back for more. Enter Calvin Taylor. Jason, only a 67-second sample size in the debut, but produced plenty of highlights to give fans a name to remember.
Yeah, watch out for that kid. As I spoke earlier, Emmett Garcia tells me, if you think Max Taylor was impressive, wait till you see the older brother, and the older brother's walking in. He's got his wrestling shoes on, his Olympus wrestling jacket on. This guy's all business.
Eric, he scored 2 knockdowns in just over a minute in the debut. I am fascinated to see what he looks like in this one.
Well, power obviously shows his power, and he definitely doesn't want his younger brother to show him up, so he's going to have a chip on his shoulder.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and pull up that tail of the tape presented by Rush Hydro. Calvin Taylor facing off against Do Som Leon in this welterweight bout. Calvin Taylor, 23 years of age. He will be 4 years older than Do Som Leon. He will also be an inch taller. Leon weighing in at 171 pounds. Calvin Taylor weighing in at 169 pounds. Taylor with a record of 1-0. Som Leon with a record of 0-1. Yeah, and Jason, also another close friend of Fierce FC amateur lightweight champion Ammon Garcia. Clearly no bad company in his corner headed into this one.
Yeah, if he fights anything like Max Taylor or Ammon Garcia, this fight will be over with quickly.
Calvin Taylor, out of One Hit MMA in Layton, Utah. Fought back in December, knocked out Spencer Hansen, who we actually just saw get a win in March of last month.
That's right, he did. It's a big 170. He's a big kid.
He's a big kid.
Wow. I think there was a bodybuilding show earlier today. He might have been in it.
That's all of a 190-pound human now.
All right, with that, let's head back in with hooks.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Rush Hydro. This fight is an amateur welterweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Dave Selyestead. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of family boxing, hailing from Twin Falls, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Dosam, the Burmese Hammer, Leon. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an undefeated amateur record of 1 win and 0 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of One Hit MMA, hailing from Farmington, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Calvin Taylor.
Heavy-handed Calvin Taylor in the red gloves. Dosam Leon, the dance partner, in the blue gloves. This amateur welterweight bout is brought to you by Rush Hydro. Revitalize, rebound, and recharge with Rush Hydro, the official recovery drink of Fierce FC. Taylor already converging on the takedown, looking to get under the hips of Sam Leon. Incessant with it.
Sam Leon doing some good defense, though, there. Spread the legs out, made sure he had a good base.
He just ate a hard knee to the body.
They look like they're in 2 different weight classes.
Leon's landing some big knees. I know he's got a nice little neck crank there.
Stellar takedown defense. Sam Leon lands the knee and separates.
A little bit of blood under Calvin's nose there already, too.
Yeah, he ate a shot right at the beginning coming in for that shot. He ate one.
Suffocating offense by Calvin Taylor finds him closed in on the distance once again, looking to land this one.
Good defense from Leon, making it scrappy, landed some nice uppercuts. Leon looks impressive tonight.
Very impressive. I was thinking the same thing. Calvin's showing some wear already from the punches, too.
Sam Leon turning the tides, and now with his foot on the pedal, moving forward.
I think he's got Calvin's respect. Calvin thought he was going to come in here and run over the top of him, and came into a little honey badger there fighting back.
Oh yeah, he's making it a tough fight.
Taylor now begins to tee off.
Leon right now is the one throwing the straight shots right down the middle.
Slapping leg kick landed by Leon. Taylor now with a combination of his own. Gets some oohs and ahs from the crowd as he begins to break through the guard. Leon circles out. Taylor more punishing upstairs. Leon rips to the body, or to the leg, I apologize.
This is a good strategy for him, especially because we've seen Calvin want to do the takedown. It's a lot harder to take down if you can't post off of that lead leg.
Accurate knee up the middle by Leon.
This is where Leon has been making it hard on Calvin to get these takedowns. Dirty boxing, knees up the middle. You can hear the corner left knee, and he answered it.
Taylor stalking down in the waning moments of round number 1.
Oh, good right hand.
Leon sends Taylor back. A nice knee up the middle as well for the Idaho fighter.
How about that? Make
That
some
will do it.
noise for
Very back and forth, the most competitive round we've seen so far, fellas.
Yeah, this is a great evenly matched fight. I thought Leon kind of took it to him in that first round, and like Eric said, he gained Calvin's respect early on.
So something to think about. Calvin's got to work really hard if he's going to try to get those takedowns. Leon is doing a good job of posting and framing and making sure that he's making Calvin work. Leon can rest a little bit when he's against the cage, and it helps. You see Calvin there breathing pretty hard.
Yeah, I think Calvin's trying to rush those takedowns, and he's not really setting up anything with those takedowns. He's just going in for it, and Leon's doing the right thing. He's staying calm, cool, and collected.
Sam Leon been through 9 minutes of MMA action. As for Calvin Taylor, he hasn't been to a second round. This is going to be uncharted territory for him.
Yeah, he's listening to his coach. He's taking deep breaths in there. We'll see if he can get close. He did land some big shots in there in the first round. Very competitive first round.
Tough to say, a total coin flip there.
I don't know. I think Leon landed the better, more calculating shots. You can definitely see wearing on Calvin's face.
Yeah, I'd agree with Eric. I'm going to lean Leon in that first round, but Calvin did land some good shots as well.
It was really competitive back and forth, no doubt.
Leon
right out for a shot.
Wow, and I don't think anybody was expecting that.
Blinding takedown finds Leon on top, trying to settle into a position. Calvin Taylor making it difficult.
Yeah, I think that just caught everybody off guard because we didn't see anything.
That was completely strategic. He stood up the whole first round and got Calvin thinking that he didn't have to worry about a takedown, and this is how he came out and capitalized.
Great coaching. And now he's trying to go in the mount. Taylor doing a great job scrambling up.
Separated we go. Taylor look to go straight down the pipe as he gets some offense going.
I am on the edge of my seat.
I am as well. Leon landed a hard shot to the knee to the body when they got up again as well. He's utilizing those very well.
Leon attempts the head kick, follows up with a pair of leg kicks. Taylor targets upstairs as Leon will find him floored once again.
I'm super impressed with this. The mix-up between throwing the hands, going right to the leg, and then shooting. This is high-level stuff for an amateur.
And we're seeing a lot of bruising on the left leg of Taylor. Can't see it on the camera too well, but Jason, you can see it right here, cage side.
Oh, I can see it. It's not going to feel good tomorrow. And if you're watching at home, you can see that left leg there is bruised up pretty well.
That's what's known in the gym as a tie tattoo.
It's the first time I've heard that, Eric.
Tie tattoo. This strategy from Leon's perfect too, because he's been striking that leg, as you can see. He's taken power out of Calvin's base by not being able to post on that leg, and now he's being able to take him down. This is a really, really smart fight.
Some appreciable damage rendered throughout the first 2 minutes of this second round. Under a minute to go, in which the tide seemed to have turned more towards Leon.
Calvin may be exhausted. He's doing a lot of work from the bottom right now.
More punishing blows up top.
There he goes. I was just going to say I'd like to see Leon secure the base a little better. And this is going to get stopped.
Taylor trying to find a way to cover up. Dave Selyusted is going to call it. Sam Leon, welcome to the state of Utah. He's going to move to 1-1.
One of the most impressive performances I've seen to date in the Fierce Fighting Championship cage. That was a very well-rounded fight by Sam Leon.
I just think the strategy was perfect. Like, he went out and executed a game plan. He knew what Calvin was going to want to do, and which is hard to figure out from this level, right? You don't have a lot of tape to watch on these guys. You can't see what they're going to lean towards. I'm really, really impressed.
One of the highest IQ amateur bouts we've seen. I mean, we think about Sam. He went through 9 minutes with Lane Dalton. Again, we talked about him, already an esteemed amateur. He comes in here today against a guy who looks to be on a rocket ship and seems to just spoil that party, Eric.
Yeah, took the wind right out of his sails. Again, I mean, look at that leg. So that lead leg is where a lot of the power has to generate, because that's where you have to post on and put your weight on. If it's not carrying your weight, it's hard to generate power.
This replay is brought to you by Rush Hydro. Eric, it's the ground and pound that finished it all.
Yeah, set up by just a perfect strategic fight. And just right when I was saying I think he needed to work on his base or get his base secure, he did. Was able to get the strikes and end it.
All right, we will head inside to make it official with Jackson Hoops right now.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Selyuset has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes and 39 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by TKO out of the blue corner, Dosam, the Burmese Hammer, Leon.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner tonight. That was a very impressive performance. We talked about it on the broadcast. You mixed it up very well with your striking and your wrestling. Talk about your performance tonight.
Man, just gotta follow my coaches, what they had to game plan, and that's what it is.
You followed it to a T.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah. All thanks to my coaches right there. Coach Brennan. Woo!
Anybody else, any sponsors, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, first and foremost, thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, I wouldn't be here. Secondly, my coaches, my friends, Badad, Mubarak, wherever you're at. I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you. And what is it? Yeah.
It's all right, it's all right. Congratulations. Impressive performance tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for your winner, Dosam Leon.
Welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 31. Guys, we take a look at the lineup. But also, if you want to scan for the lineup, scan Fierce Fighting Championship's new digital program on your screen right now to keep up to date on bout lineup, stats, and so much more. Fellas, that was the fight of the night for sure so far.
Yeah, that was very impressive performance. I was talking to his coaches in there, and he said, watch out, they got an up-and-coming gym up in Idaho. They're going to have some killers coming out of that gym.
Coaching like that, strategy like that, they're making a statement, and I'm excited to see how they do going forward.
Yeah, his coach was telling me in the corner, he said, we were trying to get him to listen, and something finally clicked in that training room for him, and we saw it play out tonight. Very impressed.
Excited to see what the future holds for Dosam Leon as well as so many out of that gym. All right, we will kick it over to a pair of bantamweights waiting for their name to be called. With that, let's kick it over to our man, Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Natty Addy. With 3 key ingredients, Natty Addy provides nutrients and oxygen to the brain for improved health and function. As a non-addictive, holistic, and physician-recommended supplement alternative for focus, there are no energy crashes or jitters. Enhance your focus, energy, and mood with Natty Addy. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Lars Wittenberger and then Nate Reinhardt to the cage.
Back on the road and first time in Utah, enter Lars Wittenberger. Eric, his 4th straight fight in 4 months, put some more miles on him since that jumping off point in June of last year, but a big test in front of him in Nate Reinhardt.
That's a lot. I'm going to be interested in see how those miles look as they wear on your body, because that's a very impressive amount of fights in a short amount of time.
Yeah, Jason, right here, it's going to be teammate versus teammate for the next couple here on our prelims. Extreme Couture versus Soul Fighter Wasatch, Nate Reinhardt versus Lars Wittenberger, and then later on in 2 fights, Jackson DeGray versus Artis Lyles.
Yeah, I mean, both those guys are in camp together. It's got to be pretty interesting to be training with the guy that you know is going to be fighting an opponent of the other guy.
Lars Wittenberger, 5 months since his last fight, the longest layoff of his career, but certainly excited to see him in his 4th walk to the cage. Well, he wanted activity, and 2024 is delivering. Enter Nate Reinhardt. Jason, 2 walks in under 5 months, distinctly adept at directing where the fight plays out.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for him. It'll get him to 3-1 if he can come away with the big victory tonight. I think he's got a lot to prove.
Eric, he has landed, I should say, 7 of his last 8 takedown attempts in his past 2 fights. We saw it on display back in January with the win over John Smith. His ability to stay in the driver's seat is really, really uncanny.
Well, and if you can put them where you want them and control them that way and dominate, it makes it for an easy night.
2 minutes and 35 seconds of control time in the last fight. That accounted for 55% of the fight. With that, let's go ahead and pull up our tail of the tape for this bantamweight bout between Nate Reinhardt and Lars Wittenberger. Reinhardt, 4 years senior. Lars Wittenberger will stand 2 inches taller at 5'11". Reinhardt weighing in at 135.5 pounds. Lars Wittenberger did miss weight by 1.5 pounds, tipping the scales at 137.5 pounds. Identical record at 2-1 in this one. Very excited to see how things play out between Nate Reinhardt and Lars Wittenberger. And Jason, I don't know if you saw it, but there was no handshake at the weigh-ins between these 2 bantamweights as well.
I did see that. I did see Nate kind of turned away and was like, yeah, we'll shake after the fight.
A little odd. Your thoughts, Eric?
Well, sometimes you got to keep it all business. You got to keep your mind engaged and focus on the task at hand, because you're not going to be friends. You can be friends after.
Nate Reinhardt, originally a golfer, found his way to MMA through boxing years ago in Florida. Excited to see him in his 4th walk, his 2nd already of this calendar year. With that, looks like we are just about ready to get things started. We'll kick it over to Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Natty Addy. This fight is an amateur bantamweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighing in above the contracted weight at 137.5 pounds. Fighting out of Extreme Couture MMA, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada. Fierce fans, make some noise for Lars the Wolfman Wittenberger. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 135.5 pounds. Fighting out of Soul Fighters Wasatch, hailing from Orem, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Nate Reinhardt.
Orem local Nate Reinhardt challenges in the red gloves. Lars Wittenberger awaits opposite in the blue. This amateur bantamweight bout is brought to you by Natty Addy, a safe and effective way to improve your focus, energy, and move. Head over to nattyaddy.com to get yours. Natty Addy, an official sponsor of Fierce FC.
Very golfing pose here.
I was just getting ready to say that. It looks like he's about ready to go golf 18 holes.
Reinhardt, calm, cool, and collected is typically the tempo.
That's the Wasatch combat. You see that from Jackson. You're going to see that from Jackson DeGray a little bit later too.
A little bit of head movement showcased already by the local fighter in Reinhardt.
Yeah, already seeing a little difference in Reinhardt in the stand-up.
We saw a lot of stand-up in the debut years ago. He had that long layoff. Then we saw a lot more grappling. He'll go in and close distance as Lars Wittenberger is privy to it.
Yeah, Lars is going to make him work. Lars comes from out of a tough gym in Extreme Couture. Justin James in his corner, who we saw back a couple months ago fighting in the Fierce Fighting Championship cage.
Dominant performance by him. Reinhardt looking to lift up. Places Wittenberger on the mat. Wittenberger with that whizzer, keeping him up, Eric.
Yeah, he's doing the right things. He briefly got taken down. Reinhardt wasn't able to secure the position. Reinhardt back right on those legs, though. He's being tenacious with it, and Lars reverses him there.
Wittenberger now utilizing, looked like an attempted outside trip. Reinhardt punches his way out. Finds himself on the other side of the cage. Some high-level defensive wrestling shown by the Vegas fighter as he lands a knee up the middle as well. Reinhardt punches up top.
Yeah, Reinhardt putting the pressure on. He wants this fight to go to the mat, and he got it there.
Really patient, was able to get both legs and then just pull those knees in, take him right down.
Reinhardt, persistent in the pursuit of top pressure, finds himself wrapped around the legs of Wittenberger. Not the most mobile position for the Vegas fighter, Eric.
He's Reinhardt, where he's got the legs wrapped up with his. Good control, very patient. Needs to make sure he secures that other leg. Needs to get that left leg in.
They were rating Wittenberger's corner too, so I'm sure Wittenberger's getting the coaching that he needs.
20 seconds left in round one. Lars Wittenberger was submitted by rear naked choke in the first round of his last fight. That was in November of last year. Reinhardt looking to get some work going. It might be a little bit too late.
But this is a good way to finish the round in dominant position.
All right, through 3 minutes, Nate Reinhardt polishes off round one nicely, Jason.
Yeah, great round. He pressured the whole round. He got the takedown. He controlled, had the back. Another 30 seconds or so, he may have been able to sink in that rear naked choke. We'll see if he can capitalize on that this next round.
Eric, your thoughts? We're in the corner of Nate Reinhardt. Had a little bit of trouble getting him down, but once he did, it was all him.
Yeah, he had to work for the takedown a little bit, but he doesn't look, I mean, he looks like he might be in the library.
Yeah, he just fixed his hair. He's like, hey, I'm just out for a stroll in the park today.
So he doesn't look fatigued despite having to work a little bit extra for that takedown than he's used to maybe, but.
And looking in Lars' corner, he's taking some deep breaths. He had to work a little bit to stop those takedowns.
Lars Wittenberger hasn't been to a second round since September of 2023. As for Nate Reinhardt, he has never had a fight finish in the first round. His fastest victory was over John Smith back in January. That was a TKO win in Idaho Falls. Back into action we go, top of the second round between these two bantamweights. Reinhardt waits his way inside, looking to get back up under the hips.
Wittenberg doing a good job securing that left hand, make sure he doesn't get around that other leg, but.
Lars Wittenberger, north of 3 years over at Extreme Couture, secured his blue belt in December of 2023. Reinhardt, back to the well he goes as he looks to wrap up the legs, identical to round one.
He's not giving Lars any breathing room. As soon as Lars tried to create that distance, Reinhardt was right back on him with the takedown.
Nate Reinhardt won back-to-back fights.
Wittenberg needs to push one of those legs down, get his legs out. He's never going to get up this way, especially as tight as that is. He's going to have to try to create some space.
Reinhardt doing a good job locking those legs up.
Following the corner advice promptly of Reese Hall, the coach over at Soul Fighters Wasatch, as he peppers the face of Wittenberger.
You're seeing Wittenberger working those legs out a little bit. He needs to get that left leg out. If he can get one leg out, he can try to post up and get up.
Couple of dominant shots, looking to break through the guard of Wittenberger. Now really putting some steam on him. Wittenberger looked to find his way out, but still taking punishment. Tyler Tomlinson getting close to calling this one.
Reinhardt doing a good job not wasting too much energy, just peppering him with shots right now.
This is going to get stopped.
That's going to do it. Nate Reinhardt by ground and pound. Get used to hearing that.
We talked about the stand-up. He was dominant in the wrestling department tonight, Nate Reinhardt was.
Looked incredibly patient, just really patient.
You think he's got his clubs in the car? He might go do 9 before it gets too dark?
I don't see why he wouldn't.
He loves golfing, by the way. I've actually talked to him a few times, and I've joked about going golfing with him. He's like, yes, please, let's go. Like, he loves it.
Well, if he's good at golfing as he's fighting, I'm not going with him.
Nate Reinhardt, that is 3 in a row. Let's go ahead and cue up that replay presented by Rush Hydro. The finishing flurry by the bantamweight. Eric, it's all yours.
Just perfect execution, patience, being heavy in top control. You know, he's not putting a whole bunch of power in this, but he doesn't need to. Sometimes when you do, you lose your position. He's just peppering him enough because he knows Tyler's going to come in and stop it.
That is the one that did it. And with that, Tyler Tomlinson, Nate Reinhardt, waiting alongside our man Jackson Hoops. We will find him in the center of the cage to make it official.
Fierce fans, referee Tyler Tomlinson has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes and 6 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by TKO, Nate Reinhardt.
Ladies and gentlemen, here with the winner, Nate Reinhardt. Nate, that was an impressive performance. You got to be one of the most calm, cool, collected guys I've seen in this cage in a long time. How do you do it, man?
No, I mean, hey, in here it's a storm, but yeah, just keep it streamlined, keep it cool. It's a sport.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, very impressive performance tonight. Puts you to 3-1. Where do you go from here?
No, I mean, that's finish number 3 in a row, so we'll see who's 4 soon this summer. So.
Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight?
No, we're all good. We got the best team. Soul Fighters, Wasatch, Reese, and Casey. I mean, we're killing it. We're learning everything. So is Jackson. And Jackson DeGray will show it as well. So, no, like I said, we'll see number 4 July, August, maybe.
I love it. Congratulations again on a phenomenal performance. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Nate Reinhardt.
Oh, man. Don't worry. I can take real good care of you. See? All taken care of. Works perfectly for you, right?
It's important that you are taken care of properly. At Craig Swap & Associates, we don't get paid until you win.
One call, that's all. 801-444-4444.
Welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 31, presented by Rush Hydro. Fellas, we're already into the championship bouts. We've got Bane Varner and Giovanni Salazar up next for the 170-pound strap. Jason, I know you're looking forward to this one.
First title fight of the night. I am very excited about this fight.
Eric, your thoughts? Giovanni Salazar, Bane Varner, 2 high-quality welterweights making their way down here to Utah to showcase and fight for a strap.
Yeah, both very exciting guys. A lot of character in Bane, and I'm interested to see how this fight rolls out. First title fight of the night, and you know, when you go that extra couple of rounds, if it may be needed, that could change the whole outcome of everything. So I'm interested in seeing how both these guys fare in a title fight.
All right, well, let's bring him out. In charge of that is going to be Jackson Hoops. Let's kick it over to him.
Fierce fans, our first title fight of the evening is sponsored by Drip Swag. Are you looking for promotional products? At Drip Swag, they will supply your company with every possible promotional product from over 3,000 suppliers. Visit them online to find all sorts of apparel, bags, writing instruments, tech products, and drinkware to boost your return on investment and leave a lasting impression with your customers. Drip Swag, the pro in promo. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Gio Salazar and then Bane Varner to the cage.
On the brink of belt number 2, enter Gio Salazar. Jason, a collegiate wrestler already with a title win and defense under the lengthy resume, a top-tier talent in the West Coast.
Yeah, this guy's a top-tier talent, trains out of a tough gym. This is going to be a scrap. Bane Varner's going to have his hand full tonight.
Eric, when we're talking about Gio Salazar, an 80% finish rate, 4 of his 6 fights have ended in the first round, not to mention a 7-second finish in August of 2022.
Well, it shows accuracy in what he's doing and probably good patience generally. Being able to set it up and stop it is a good skill to have.
Gio Salazar, a Division III wrestler out of Dubuque, Iowa. Also, Jason, more of a dual threat. 4 of his 5 wins have been by TKO, but a stout wrestling base.
Yeah, it's always good when you can have that stand-up to go along with that wrestling base to complete that well-rounded fighter.
Gio Salazar ranked the #1 amateur welterweight in Montana, ranked top 5 in the entire West Coast, already has won and defended a belt. Excited to see how he fares in the state of Utah, but provoking pressure, a lot to expect out of a big name, out of Extreme Couture. Also curious to see if maybe the jump up to pro will be the next thing for him with a win here tonight.
Yeah, I think if he comes away with the title here, it might be time for him to go pro.
Fired up and fresh off an emphatic win, enter Bane Varner. Eric, you shared mat space with him leading into this second title fight, his toughest matchup to date.
Yeah, I actually sparred with him 2 weeks ago a little bit, went a couple of rounds with him when I was down at Agima. He looked really good, moved well, mixed his strikes up really well. Has a ton of energy, so I'm really excited to see this fight.
Jason, he brings a fire like few can.
Yeah, he can, and he's great to watch fight. He always brings it. You see that 4-1 record. He did take a loss in his last fight, but he was winning that fight.
It was the win last fight. He's 0-1 in championship bouts. He lost in the first minute of his first title fight back in August of 2020. I believe he was just 1-0 at the time. Certainly grown and built up himself throughout the years, and back in there is Bane Varner. Let's go ahead and pull up that tail of the tape presented by Rush Hydro for this amateur welterweight title bout. Bane Varner, 6-year senior. Giovanni Salazar will be 2 inches taller in there. Identical in weight, tipping the scales at 169 pounds. Bane Varner with a record of 4-1. Gio Salazar with a record of 5-1. First of 4 titles on the line here tonight. Bane Varner awaiting. With that, let's kick it over to Hoops.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Drip Swag. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Dave Selyastad. This fight is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds for the Fierce Fighting Championship Amateur Welterweight title. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 5 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet tall and weighed in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Extreme Couture MMA, hailing from North Las Vegas, Nevada. Fierce fans, make some noise for Gio Superman Salazar. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 4 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet tall and weighed in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Agima Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, hailing from Provo, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for the Bane Train Varner.
All right, boys, we've been over the rules in the locker room already. Just going to go over those big ones again. Stay off the top, back of the head, neck, and spine, and keep your fingers out of the cage. Still an amateur bout. So the only thing that strikes the head is a punch or a kick. Got it? Touch them up. Let's have a good fight.
Back inside the fierce cage is Bane Varner in the red gloves. Extreme Couture's Giovanni Salazar strapped up in the blue gloves. This amateur welterweight title bout is brought to you by Drip Swag. Create your own custom spirit swag and see it come to life. Drip Swag, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Salazar immediately in on the takedown off of the Bane Varner kick. And some prime real estate for the Las Vegas fighter, as he'll send him matted once again, Jason.
Yeah, it looks like he might have a strength advantage there. He picked Bane up fairly easily there.
Already in a little bit of trouble opposite the broadcast booth.
Yeah, Salazar's all over Bane right now.
Bane needs to do what he's doing. He needs to turn all the way to him and commit. Try to maybe pull that leg in. or he needs to abandon the leg and post up on his hands.
Great control with Salazar.
Really smooth.
Yeah, flattening him out. He's in total control right now.
More ground and pound. Followed up by Gio Salazar. All extreme couture through the first minute and 15 seconds of this first round.
I don't think Salazar stopped throwing punches since the bell rang. He's just throwing punches.
He absolutely has it. Bane's going to need to post up on one of these hands and get up. He's going to take a little bit of shots, but he is anyway. He needs to get up and turn towards him.
Varner finding his way to a tripod, but Salazar, privy to it, jumps on the back and now wrapping up what looks to be a rear naked choke.
And that's tight. That's under the chin there. Bane doing a good job sucking his chin.
Salazar, one win by submission. It was March 3rd of 2019. This one looks to be tight.
Salazar's deep under the chin right now.
Dave Selyusted's going to call it. Gio Salazar plucks off another contender, and he is now the Fierce FC amateur welterweight champion.
Impressive performance tonight by Gio Salazar. Dominant performance. Bane Varner's no joke, and Gio Salazar made that look easy.
He definitely did. He anticipated Bane to throw that kick off the bat. Went right to the takedown and just dominant. Bane looked a little bit lost because he was taking some shots and couldn't utilize the cage to try to stand up.
Belt number 2, title win number 3. Gio Salazar mounts the cage as the new Fierce FC welterweight champion. Let's go ahead and kick it over to that replay presented by Rush Hydro.
As I was saying, right under the neck there, it was tight almost right from the bat. I'm thinking Bane was out probably sooner than it was stopped because he stopped fighting the hands altogether, didn't defend it. It also shows Salazar's power because he didn't have legs around his waist to try to lock it in. He was able just to get that horsepower and squeeze.
All right, with that, primed to belt the winner, here is Jackson Host.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Selyusted has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 57 seconds of the first round, declaring the winner by submission due to rear naked choke and new undisputed welterweight champion, Gio Superman Salazar.
That's right. You ready to face the camera? Oh, I mean, got to interview you. You're the champ now, man. Ladies and gentlemen, here with your winner, Gio Salazar. Gio, that was a dominant performance. Quick work tonight. That was the plan? You were super aggressive coming out tonight.
Yeah, we knew that he was going to come in trying to knock me out, and that's how he fights. He's a guy that tries to KO you, so I had to get it to the ground and fuck him up on the ground.
And that you did. Great performance. You're the champ now.
I want to say something. I dedicate this fight to all the people that believe in me, all the people at Extreme. I carry you guys on my back. Everyone, Chris, Curtis, Sean, Adam, everyone. My little brother too, he puts in a lot of work. And yeah.
I love it. Where do you go from here? Are you going to defend the belt, go pro? What's next for you?
My team was saying that we should go pro now.
Yeah, with a performance like that, we can't wait to see you back in the cage. Anything else you want to say? Sponsors, family, friends?
First blood. I don't know what that means.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner and new Fierce FC welterweight champ, Gio Salazar.
I always want the UFC, but if not, I'll be right back here defending this thing.
Big shots by Joel Hollow. Finish this. One of the best fights you will ever see in Utah. Crispus can be. It's Chris Ventura getting it done in the debut.
Everybody brought it tonight.
That'll do it. Eric Iman with the highlight finish.
He's on a mission tonight.
Is the undisputed king of the lightweights.
We were on the edge of our seats for every fight.
Let's go!
Welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 31, presented by Rush Hydro. Scan Fierce Fighting Championship's new digital program on your screen right now to keep up to date on the bout lineup, stats, and much more. Gio Salazar, the new welterweight king, Jason.
Sounds like he's going to vacate that and go pro, which I think he should. With a performance like that, it's time.
Yeah, no reason not to. Very dominant. His record speaks for itself. He's ready for some tougher competition.
And when you're training with the likes of Chris Curtis, you're ready to go.
We are at the last frontier of these prelims. Jackson DeGray, Artis Lyles to headline. Fierce Fighting Championship will continue on at fiercefightingchampionship.com. Pay-per-view is available for purchase right now at that website. With that, looks like we are just about ready to get things going with two more bantamweights. The belt on the line, Jackson DeGray and Artis Lyles. Here's Jackson Host.
Fierce fans, our second title fight of the evening and final bout of the preliminary card is sponsored by Atlas Health and Life Insurance. Dedicated to safeguarding your well-being with comprehensive, affordable insurance coverage, Cody Capson can help you find the protection you need, whether you're an individual, a family, or a business owner. He provides the best options tailored to you and your loved ones, ensuring peace of mind throughout your health journey. Insurance can be complicated. Cody Capson makes it easy at Atlas Health and Life Insurance. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the next two fighters, Artis Lyles and then Jackson DeGray to the cage.
Battle-tested and back for a belt is Extreme Couture's Artis Lyles. Eric, a 4-fight unbeaten streak was kickstarted with Fierce up in Idaho Falls. Hasn't lost in nearly 2 years, leading into his first shot at a strap.
Yeah, great lead up to a fight. He's got to have all the confidence in the world coming up undefeated that way in the last 4 fights. Dynamic fighter. I'm very excited.
Jason,
I'm really excited for this fight, actually.
Jason, we see that 5-2 record on the screen. His last loss was to the Fierce FC flyweight champion, Nasir Davis, back in August of 2022.
Yeah, this guy has just improved every fight. He's great striking, great wrestling. He's just gotten better and better, and this is one of the fights that I highlighted as possible fight of the night. Shout out to Roman Ishbel. This is his 3rd fight corner in a row. Roman is just doing some work tonight, overtime.
5 Extreme Couture fighters on this card. Artis Lyles, his career started 1-2, but now a 5-2 record. He looks to remain one of the hottest fighters in the entire West Coast.
Yeah, he's going to have his handful with Jackson DeGray tonight.
Blinding striking speed in the pocket is Artis Lyles. That has been his bread and butter through 7 fights. The 8th with a belt on the line. Here he is out of Extreme Couture in Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, he has taken care of business in state for a second, so now a new challenge presents itself for the Fierce FC amateur bantamweight champion, Jackson DeGray. Jason, one of the highest ceilings amongst amateurs in Utah, primed to face out-of-state competition for the first time since 2022.
Yeah, this kid is one of the up-and-coming fighters. He's the champ. He's looked super impressive. The way he won the belt was probably one of the most impressive performances I've seen in the cage. Just an well-rounded striker is Jackson DeGray.
Eric, we talked about the blinding speed of Artis. When it comes to Jackson, a sharp-witted point fighter with finishing power as well, a 100% knockdown rate under the Fierce banner, and 100% finish rate as well.
Well, he's very, very smooth and accurate. And accuracy can beat speed as long as you're inflicting damage, right? Plus, the accuracy can take some of that speed away as the fight wears on.
All right, let's go ahead and pull up that tail of the tape presented by Rush Hydro between Jackson DeGray and Artis Lyles. Lyles, 8-year senior to DeGray. DeGray will have the 2-inch height advantage. Jackson DeGray weighing in at 134.5 pounds. Artis Lyles weighing in at 134. DeGray with a record of 4-1. Artis Lyles with a record of 5-2. Jason, it just seems like the matchup between these two begs for a perfectly matched style, I guess I should say. Both of them are going to be esteemed strikers for years to come.
Yeah, this one stood out to me. When I saw the fight card lineup, this is the fight that stood out to me the most.
All right, let's kick it over to Jackson Host.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Atlas Health and Life Insurance, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. And this fight is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds for the Fierce Fighting Championship Amateur Bantamweight title. Introducing the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 5 wins and 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in at 134 pounds. Fighting out of Extreme Couture MMA, hailing from Houston, Texas. Fierce fans, make some noise for Artis the Kid Lyles. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 4 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 134 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Soul Fighters, Wasatch, hailing from American Fork, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for the reigning, defending, undisputed Bantamweight champion, Jackson DeGray.
All right, guys, this is a championship title fight, okay? Listen, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you do not protect yourself, I will stop the fight. Do you guys have questions? Touch gloves if you want backup.
Current champion Jackson DeGray looks to defend while sporting the red gloves. Challenging is Artis Lyles in the blue. This amateur bantamweight title bout is brought to you by Atlas Health and Life. Affordable insurance tailored to fit your needs and for your loved ones. Atlas Health and Life, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. DeGray ripping a leg kick to kick things off.
That'll get your attention.
A lot of Jackson DeGray fans here, just trains about 2 miles north of here at Soul Fighters Wasatch in Orem, Utah.
I think Eric called it out earlier. The artist will definitely probably have the speed advantage, but Jackson DeGray very precise in his striking.
Patient are the two fighters through a minute, Eric.
I like the long guard DeGray's using. It's going to take some of the speed out of Lyles because Lyles is going to have to close the distance here. Smart defense.
Also see an ankle brace on the right foot of Lyles as Jackson DeGray invests in the body. Artis Lyles follows suit. In on the takedown is Jackson DeGray. Pulling one out of the page of Nate Reinhardt, it looks like, Jason.
I was just going to say we might see Jackson DeGray go for a takedown tonight, and then here we go, going for a takedown. Lyles will make it tough for him. Good wrestling base.
He's defending well, getting the underhooks. His feet are wide, which is important, and he's sideways. It's good takedown defense there. DeGray's sucking that leg in.
DeGray looking a little off balance there. Artis showing a little bit of strength there. And now DeGray having to fight the takedown.
DeGray near the corner of his head coaches Casey Wilkinson and Reese Hall. Artis Lyles still persistent in trying to floor the incumbent.
I'd like to see DeGray get his legs a little bit wider because if Lyle changes levels a little bit more, he's got the legs just like that.
DeGray in on the hip, a slick reversal.
And he's got the neck.
Wrapping it up, DeGray has not submitted an opponent since February of 2022.
Artis may pull out of this, but now he's sinking it in even deeper.
It was his debut. There's the tap. Jackson DeGray, the belt stays in the state, and he's going to defend it on home soil.
Watch out for this kid. Watch out for this kid. Jackson DeGray, he just showed us something we haven't seen with that submission.
Jackson DeGray remains the standard at 135 pounds. He gets it done in the first round, Eric.
What do you say? How impressive is that?
I could grapple.
Whole new shade of the offense for Jackson DeGray, and still, it's going to be announced in just a few moments. Dominant, Eric.
You know, it shows the work he's been putting in. He's growing, and a growing fighter's a dangerous one.
Looks like we are just about ready to make it official. With that, here is Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, referee Tyler Thomason has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the very first round, declaring a winner by submission due to guillotine choke, and still the undisputed bantamweight champion, Jackson DeGray.
Jackson, we were just talking about it. We were not expecting a submission from you tonight.
Somebody learned how to grapple, baby. Let's go.
Was that the game plan coming in here tonight? Did you want to kind of show off some of your grappling and your wrestling?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. So my wife gets scared every time the fights go to the ground. Talia, that one's for you.
That was a great performance against a tough kid. You've defended the belt now. What's next for you? Where do you go from here?
This guy right over here, Nate Reinhardt, this is his next. I think I'm going pro soon, so let's go.
I love it. I love it. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Family, friends, sponsors?
Yeah, everybody here that came to support me, as always. Get loud, guys. Come on. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner and still Fierce FC Bantamweight champ, Jackson DeGray.
Fierce fans, we're going to stay in Orem, Utah. Jackson DeGray is going to make the jump up to pro, but makes his bid for Nate Reinhardt to take his place. Eric, your thoughts?
I love Jackson, I do. You know, every time I talk to him, he's just such a nice, polite guy, and just goes out and shows what he's about every time he's in the cage.
All right, 2 champions in, and there are still more to crown as we move the broadcast over to pay-per-view, available for purchase right now at fiercefightingchampionship.com. 7 pro fights still to come, but for now, we sign off on YouTube and hope to see you in a matter of minutes. This is Fierce Fighting Championship 31, presented by Rush Hydro.
Facing off against David Maggio. David Maggio back after quite some time away. As for Arthur DeFlew, a freaky fast finisher. He has 1 minute and 45 seconds of cage time in 3 professional fights, Zach.
And quick submissions, right? I mean, Arthur is a good jiu-jitsu player. You know, I don't want to say just a jiu-jitsu guy,